Check the content, Joe. Content.
Sports Radio 560 WQAM Miami Fort Lauderdale presents the Neil Rodgers Show.
That morning
Talk
show,
to Neil.
man.
Call 567-0560. Toll free for David Broward or pound 560 on your cell phone. The opinions of Neil, his guests, callers, or anyone else on the show do not necessarily reflect those of WQAM, Beasley Reed Acquisitions, or the Beasley Broadcast Group. Now, Neil Rodgers on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Oh, God, Neil.
Now, I'm not like the kind of guy who goes infringing on other people's rights. It's not my business. What you do is up to you. Why some folks care is beyond me. I thought this country was free as far as what anybody else likes to do. I like to smoke, helps me relax, and I'm aware of the cancer and heart attacks. In the meantime, I'm as healthy as I can get. But these sheep new laws are getting me pissed, and I'd like to strangle the son of a bitch that tells me not to smoke my cigarette.
All right.
Smoke, smoke, smoke that cigarette. Smoke, smoke, I don't care if I smoke myself to death. I don't give a crap what you say, now get the hell out of my way, 'cause I'm gonna have another cigarette. Now, you can't smoke in most restaurants, sports arenas, or even bars. It's the most fascist agenda I've seen yet. Now, I don't need any judgment passed on me by some sanctimonious ass just because I'm smoking a cigarette. Smoke, smoke, smoke that cigarette. Yes. Smoke, smoke, I don't care if I smoke myself to death. Yeah. Just want to have a little fun, so get your hands out of my lungs, 'cause I'm gonna have another cigarette.
Okay.
The ones who scream the most, it seems, about how dangerous cigarettes can be are smoking weed. Gee, I guess it's okay for them. So if you want any more anti-smoking laws passed, let me bend right over and you can kiss my ass, 'cause I'm gonna have another cigarette. Smoke, smoke, smoke that cigarette. Smoke, smoke, I don't care if I smoke myself to death.
Okay.
The hell out of my way, or else I'll blow smoke in your face, 'cause I'm gonna have another cigarette.
Yeah, man.
Okay, 10:03 at 560 WQM. All I can say is, wow, what a day. It's about time we had some excitement in this joint.
Oh!
Damn it. It's about time we had a joint in this place.
Yeah, man.
Oh, we already have those? Ask Jason, see how he's doing. Have you ever seen anybody come into work as pie-eyed as he is every day? I don't want to start picking on Jason because he's a good guy, although he does need to lose about 15 pounds, but nevertheless. Oh, and speaking of good guys, we got so much today. It's all inside stuff, by the way. For everybody out there that wants to hear inside stuff, we had a brawl in the hall this morning. Big, major brawl. Little Dog and Bluff Lindsay. Major. I mean, the walls were thumping and tumbling and bumping and grinding and, oh, man. About 9:15, somebody came in here, opened the door up, and it sounded like the world was coming to an end out there. We're all going, yeah, let's go take a look and see what's going on in this otherwise very boring place. But before I go into that, so speaking of Jason, so yesterday, leaving here, I was going to light up a cigar and walk by and see David, what's his name? The creep? I mean, David Cohen? Thank you. I was going to see if I could get, a rise out of him by puffing a couple in his face because he got so psychotic Monday when I made the grotesque mistake, excuse me, of lighting up a cigar in our non-smoking building, even though I was on the way out, okay? Excuse me, David, I haven't got laid in the last 45 years, and I'm only 20 years old. But nevertheless, so I go, and he's not in there. And there's a couple of guys in there, and I don't know who the hell they are because there's like 75 different interns working on that show. And so I look in the studio, and Hank is sitting there with a clown shirt on. It looked like a cross between Christmas and between a Christmas tree and a Hanukkah bush. A clown outfit on. And so I'm laughing, and I'm like pulling on my shirt and like pointing at him, and he starts laughing like, yeah, like he don't get it. I'm like, Hank, yeah, like what is that? And he's laughing like I guess I don't know. And so as I walked away from there, it just finally dawned on me, and I know we mentioned this before, because like the morning show, the one that's got those declining ratings, those badly declining numbers, the morning show requires several people to work on it, but at least 3 of them are in the air. But Hank's show, I guarantee you, when Hank was on the Belmont, let's see, Al Michaels, Dave Johnson, Charles C. Candy, Jim McKay, plus all the production crew, all the cameramen, you put them all together, it pales into insignificance compared to the number of people that QAM puts in there to pull off the Hank Goldberg show. And most days they still can't get it on the air on time.
Oh!
Like that. And it just dawned on me. And then I got in the car, and the most astonishing thing was that most of those people were on the air making like guttural sounds that make Geldy sound like Walter Cronkite. Well, I don't know. Let me look it up in the book, Hank. I mean, what a suckfest that deal is in the afternoon. They're all in there. They're shining his shoes and spraying deodorant, and I mean, just unbelievable. What is that? What a suckfest that Hank Goldberg show is, man. I'm not holding anything back today. I'm just going to let it all hang out. You know, it's the war of the words here today on QAM. It's in the middle of the summer. It's boring as crap. Your calls suck. Let's face it. And you ain't think any of the New York teams besides the Yankees. I mean, what the hell was that? Did you hear that right toward the end of their show? Well, you couldn't help it. We had a goddamn monitor up, which we do as late as possible. That William Bush, by the way, there was a better call on Hank's show yesterday. After seeing that whole business, I go down to the car and I'm listening, and the first call, here's Hank sitting there in his clown outfit, and the first call is one of these sports nerds, these middle-aged, who probably plays golf a lot, the middle-aged sports nerd, and he comes on here, oh, Hank, I just want you to know, my wife and I see you in Miami Lakes all the time, and you've lost all of this weight, and we're so proud of you, and you look just, I thought I was going to do a Billy Crystal routine, you know, you look marvelous. Oh, yes, in fact, you look so great. My wife wants you, and I want you. Maybe we can do a three-way, and we'd like to stick our tongue in your rectum. Oh, my God, what a suck job that was. And then the guy goes on to say, I mean, getting to the meat of his call, well, Hank, what do you think the Dolphins need this year? Well, I mean, what are they still lacking? And Hank says, I think they're all set. They don't really need much. Oh, hearing that makes me feel so good. Sir, I got news for you, man. You talk about a person that needs to get a life. Needs to get a life. You're it. Look in the mirror, man. Get a life. And stop sucking so hard, okay? I mean, Hank has lost a lot of weight, and he certainly looks better than when he was rolling around here like a gigantic shmoo, but nevertheless. Yeah, you remember the shmoo in Little Abner? That's what Hank used to look like. Now he looks like a guy. He's lost a lot of weight. He's doing a great job. By the way, Lee Cutler from our sales department is a good guy now that we don't have to sit in the room next door to him making all that noise. He's a pretty good guy. He came in here this morning, and you know why he came in, don't you? We haven't seen him in a coon's age. Oh, don't bring
Roy
into it. No, we haven't seen him in a long time. And he came in here to show us that he's lost a lot of weight. He lost 20 pounds, and guess how he lost it? On the Atkins, baby.
Oh!
So Dan Rather, stick it up your ass, okay? You don't know your ass from my elbow. All these idiots on there. Oh, well, this isn't safe, and here's a cardiologist who says, pop, 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 pop. Yeah, right. Have we lost anybody to the Atkins that we know of?
No.
Anybody croaked?
No.
Heart attack?
No.
You know, premature death?
No.
No. Everybody we know seems to have done magnificently well. It is hard to stay on. It is very hard. And the diet, too. But nevertheless, once you get past those first few days and get over those sugar cravings, 20 pounds. And not that this guy was a fat guy in the first place to begin with, but he had a paunch. He was like a typical American with a pupik. And that's what kills you is the pupik, because all that fat around your middle, around your heart, and all your other organs, it's a killer. So there's Lee Cutler doing great. So anyway, getting back to what I said, I mean, Hank does look a lot better. He's lost a lot of weight, and we're real proud of that. But, I mean, this guy, what a suck job. Just like I've told you before, most of the callers, 80% at least of all callers on radio talk shows in America, whether it's sports talk, nursery talk, gardening, whatever it is, they call to suck around. Because most of them have no lives whatsoever, and they're looking for somebody to validate them and make nice to them. It's a big suck job is what it is. It's a big, fat suck job that even Monica would be embarrassed by. But nice shirt, Hank. No, I'm just curious why it takes so many people to do that show. I mean, you would think that if you got a staff that big, that it would be, the show every day would be a barn burner. Wouldn't you think so?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, the amount of, I mean, here, it's me and George, okay? That's it. And JP, okay, I won't leave you out. You're not usually here. You're not in there doing it, or the show anyway. And it's us. And a phone, and a very marginal studio, about half the size, I would say, of their operation in there at best. George is like in a broom closet, and I'm sitting in here like maybe a telephone booth, and that's it. Crappy old equipment, cart deck that like a fan, by the way, that yesterday, that was the highlight of the show, I understand, was the fan. Oh, yeah. In fact, I may turn it off and crank it up again. I'll do that after the break, crank it up again, just to get you some sexual excitement from the sound of our fan. You've heard of the fan in New York. We got the fan in Miami, the floor fan, to blow a little air in here, okay? So I'll get into the whole thing about Joe and Bluff. And I'm not making this up. A major brawl in the hall here at QAM this morning. And guess what? Greg's out of town. What a surprise, huh? When the boss is away, the children will play. 10 minutes after 10 at 560 WQAM. You want to play?
Kiss my rear end.
What happens when the most malevolent force in the universe somehow finds its way out of the cosmos and into an old opera house? George Lucas, in association with another really rich guy, Andrew Lloyd Webber, presents Phantom Menace of the Opera. He was horribly injured in an unfortunate Ewok explosion when he was young. Now he wears a mask to hide his hideous features, but he can't hide his hideous singing voice.
I must pull out my lightsaber and fight.
Phantom Menace of the Opera. It's full of music you don't know, sung by all new characters you never heard of.
My name's Hubba Lord of Dagobah. It is the place where Yoda met Luke Skywalker.
Phantom Menace of the Opera. The story's thin, the characters are weak, and the music's repetitive. But hey, come on, it's Star Wars!
10:15 at 560 WQM. We got Hank Goldberg out there at Shula's today at 2 o'clock. Ed Kaplan will be on at 6 o'clock tonight, so the revised schedule says, and Duff came in here 16 times to make sure I understand that it is Ed Kaplan. Is it Ed?
Uh-huh.
It's Ed. Does it make a difference?
No.
No. And then we got the Marlins at Arizona again tonight later on. I mean, if you're up that late, which you probably won't be, and even if you would, who the hell would listen to that? Nice going Sabres, by the way.
Oh!
All right, we're going to get a lot of calls about that, right?
No.
No. What a game. What a game last night. I'll get some highlights on here in a second. Anyway, here's the most important part of the day so far from Nick Cigars. A nice big sack was brought in, Il Sacco. And it says, Dear Neil, we deeply apologize to you with regard to the cigar cravings you suffered while on the air yesterday. Well, see, I hate to break the news to you guys, but I always suffer cigar cravings while I'm on the air because this is a non-smoking building, and we have a bunch of prissy, bullcrap, goody two-shoes running around the store. Oh, it's a non-smoking building. Please, we don't want to offend Greg. Well, guess what? Greg's out of town, okay? Greg's in Philadelphia. Good place for him. Don't want to get Greg upset because it's a non-smoking building, and maybe David Cohen will come in the building and get that wrinkled-up look on his face again like, oh, gee, something smells real bad. Well, go look in the mirror, David. Maybe you'll find out what it is that smells so bad, okay, sweetheart? God. No, seriously, you would have thought that I was building a bonfire, or that you would have thought that Godzilla just came into the building and took a big dump right outside the control room door out there. The look on his face, like, oh, geez, what's that? What's that? It's cigar smoke, dummy, and it's damn good cigar smoke, too, from a Perdomo Reserve X, one of the best cigars known to man, you jackass. Give me a look like that. See, I told you yesterday, because I'm very quick to pick up on these things because I've been around the block 40 or 50 million times. See, at IOD, the motto used to be, if it isn't broken, fix it. That used to be our motto. So they dick around with stuff that we were doing just great. They dick around, the morning show, Ranieri, this, whatever it was. If it's not broken, fix it. Screw around with it. And they did. To the point where now it's like, you know what it's like. But here our motto is at QAM, we can't stand prosperity. We just came off the greatest rating book in the history of this radio station, the modern day history of the station. Everything's going along just great. Even I have adopted the Geldy attitude, which is,
I don't give a shit anymore.
Right. I mean, what do we care? They're running 50 spots an hour, 100. What difference does it make? What difference does it make? Howard runs 7,000 spots an hour. He's doing pretty good. You were still running 50 million spots an hour in the morning in a winter book, and he did pretty good. But then we get the Todd Dreck episode here yesterday with Luann and Todd Dreck and all this other hysteria, which set me off into a frenzy, which, by the way, I only apologize for the fact I didn't do at least another hour on that asshole. That's the only thing I apologize for, is that I should have done at least, and believe me, it would have beat most of the calls we had on the show here yesterday, as usual. Oh, and somebody faxes me a fax yesterday saying, oh, well, you're forgetting last summer you were on TV at this time, as if somehow last summer we were doing great and had so many more and much better phone calls. You know, the whole whammy experience, setting aside the fact that what an intrusion it was and what a crappy job they did putting it together in a piece of dreck they put on the air every night, forgetting about that, and you couldn't hear the audio, et cetera, and so on, forgetting all of that. All I remember from that experience was begging for calls every day the whole while that we were doing that show, every day. Right? Playing music, I mean, doing anything possible to fill up the 4 hours because it was dead as a doornail. Although I will say this, I was in Publix last night, and there was a lady about 110 years old, very nice lady. She's probably listening this morning because now she knows I'm on radio. She says, "Oh, my gosh, it's so nice to see you. What happened? Aren't you on television anymore?" And I said, "No, I have a face for radio. I'm sticking to radio." "Oh, you're on radio? Do you know how many people?" "No, seriously, you're laughing in there. Do you have any idea?" You see, you're both laughing. This is the truth. Especially all those young punks we had listening who used to watch Whammy. No adult with a brain would have watched it. "Oh, excuse me, ma'am." "Well, I mean, she's old. She don't know any better." In between squeezing the bag, she used to flick it in the channels too. So those people, they have no idea that there's a radio show that I do here. So a lot of those people, they think like I'm unemployed now because the Whammy show is off the air. Like I was making the big bucks with the Whammy show on a make-believe TV station in between the Munsters and 85 episodes of MASH. And you don't understand that. See, that goes back to another thing about no promotion here. But let me say it again.
I don't give a shit.
I don't care if they ever promote us because they're not going to do it anyway. Oh, by the way, so anyway, Nick sent over some great cigars. Thank you. It wasn't necessary to send this long letter. Oh, brother. It says, if your listeners come into the store today and guess the correct employee is going to get whipped by Nick, they'll get an extra 10% off the purchase. Either Maritza, Miguel, Raul, or Teresa. Guess which one of these talented artisans get the whip, and you'll get an extra 10% off on any purchase today at the factory outlet. Oh. Well, Nick is a taskmaster. He whips them into shape. That's why they whip up those great cigars down there. But anyway, getting back to our deal here, we can't stand prosperity. Everything was going along great. We had the great ratings. We got more spots than Carter's got goddamn liver pills. Everybody's doing great. God only knows where the Beasleys are sticking the money, maybe deep inside their
rectum.
Exactly. But whatever. And all of a sudden we got people, professional crap disturbers like Todd Dreck, running around a hallway, running in here, running into Ray Perry, which I don't even remember what the hell Ray Perry looks like, by the way. You know something? If Ray Perry walked in here right now, I wouldn't recognize him. That's how long it's been since we saw that son of a bitch. You talk about a bullcrap artist. This is one of our 55 sales managers who was going to do this and going to do that. And I mean, talk about empty verbiage. Did he ever do any of it?
No.
Did we ever see him?
No.
He's not a bad guy, but he's useless. He's like most of the people we got around here. People with titles who are impotent. We have a lot of very impotent people in this joint. QAM needs a big dose of Viagra. We need a big, gigantic pill dropped into this building. And everybody can suck on it for a while in the pill, too. I'm serious. I mean, we have more people with titles, and, of course, that goes back to one guy, and that's Greg Reed, who's out of town in Philadelphia, so we can really ream him an ass, and then his family will tell him what I said when he comes back. See, I want to say one thing to Joe Rose before I tell the audience that whole story this morning, this intemperate thing, and I'm not one of those people that's going to jump on the bandwagon because I like this one. See, I don't dislike that many people in this building except the ones you already know I don't talk to. Like the water Nazi. And, of course, our sales manager who was in here again this morning bothering me. You stay out of here, too, Screwan, okay? Go see your buddy.
Roy!
Stay the hell out of here. Maybe you can get on that search party for that big, gigantic black dildo. I bet you she knows where it is. Oh, yeah. She's probably storing it for him. Well, you know how, like, squirrels store nuts for winter? So, like, you got the water Nazi and her and Todd Dreck. Who did I leave out? I mean, I would even talk to Igor back there, but he don't speak to me. Chris, whatever his name. What is his name? Chris Rock? What is that guy's name? Chris Bonadonna?
Rathouse.
Rathouse? What kind of a name is that? Rathouse? Is he related to Chris Cathouse? What kind of a name is that? Rathouse? I'm sure he might be an okay guy, but he's like Igor, you know, he don't speak to me. So I would be happy to speak to him. In fact, I remember one morning I did pass him in the hall. I said, hey, hi. And he looked at me like that, you know. And I thought, okay, stay away. But other than that, I like most of the people here. We got a pretty good group. I mean, like the 45 people working on Hank's show in the afternoon, they're all a good bunch of kids. Although yesterday I looked in there, there's two guys sitting in a control room. I never saw either one of them before in my life. And they give me a look like, you know, like I just dropped a load on the floor. They look at me like,
Who the hell are you?
Yeah, like that. Like, what are you standing there looking in here for, mister? And believe me, it wasn't to look at you guys either. Trust me when I tell you that. Oh, my vision's better than that. But, Joe, I just want to tell you the way it is, okay? Anybody can go around picking on the underlings, okay? And that's easy pickings. And our program director, he happens to be a good guy, never stole a freight train. He's highly overpaid, but I don't begrudge him. What's wrong with that? I mean, you know, to pay a guy that kind of money to make out the schedule, that's a lot of money, but he's a good guy. We like him. No, I can't say we. I like him. He's a good guy. Don't you agree? George agrees. And JP just stays the hell away. But nevertheless, no, he is a good guy. And I know for a fact that he would like to be able to do a lot more than, but his hands are tied. He is limited in his powers because, like I said, that's the kind of organization, Gregory. I told you that a year and a half ago when I started here. He has set up an organization where he's got his 3 or 4 fair-haired people, and they do whatever the hell they want. They terrorize the whole place. The water Nazi, Screw Ann, Sam the Sham over there who's pretending to do a job in his temporary office for the next 10 years. In his temporary office. Yeah, you should live so long. And then the people who have the titles, like poor Ray Perry, who's a nice guy, but he's a sales manager. He's like what did Robert Duvall say, a network? He said, I'm a network executive without a kingdom, or something like that. What did he say? I'm an executive without a network. And that's what these people are. They're people with titles with no authority, with no power. They can't make anything happen here. Duff can make the schedules out. And believe me, that takes him, with the assistance of Clarence, that takes him like morning, noon, and night. And they finally put one in here, and then they decide maybe it's right, maybe it's not. But who cares? And like I told him today when he brought this thing in here about Eddie Kaplan on 6 o'clock night, I said, who cares? What difference is it going to make? Because after 6 o'clock, the radios are all off anyway. Is there anybody listening after 6? No. I don't want to burst Eddie's bubble. There's nobody listening after 6 except a few degenerate gamblers. That's all we got.
Hey, what do you think? What are your thoughts on that Vassar game tonight with the RPI, huh? Got any thoughts on that game?
And that's the name of that tune. Oh, yeah, we got a lot of good stuff going on here. So anyway, I'll get back to the Joe Rose Duff Lindsay fight in a minute. Oh, we got to give a little bit of a build-up here. Just like yesterday I killed 40 minutes. I'm no fool. I'm no idiot. I understand when, I'm being had. It's July 16th for crying out loud. Isn't that what they did? June, whatever it is. Close. June, July, August. We're dying over here. Why not? Why don't you people, I don't understand these morning guys. They attacked me this morning like, oh, you got to go to bat for us. Go to bat for yourselves. I've been going to bat for you on that format for months now, for a hell of a long time, since we were downstairs months ago. But now that we finally adopted the guilty attitude of, I don't give a shit. What are you bitching about in there? What are you busting the balls of our program director? He ain't a bad guy. He's useless, but he's not a bad guy. I'd rather have a guy who's useless and is a good guy and got his heart in the right place than somebody who gets a lot of stuff done and is a devious son of a bitch, not to mention any names like Boy Gary. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
I think you do. 1026 at 560 WQAM. Loretta.
I have just tasted your snapper.
Tell me that you love my eyes.
Yes.
But I know that you keep on checking out my eyes.
Yeah.
Don't blame you 'cause I'm very cute. Check out my breath, they're poking out my love at you. You come on to me and whisper things in my ear. And it sounds soft. But if you wanna date me, slow. There's things about me I don't think you know. I'm underage, 17. You should be scared of me, 'cause you could go to jail if you sleep with me. If I scream, you end up praising me. She looks 25, but she's just 13. Perfect teeth, I bet my lips are free. Daddy called the cops last night. My breasts are perfect to see because I've had surgery. None of my skirts reach my knees. My butt just hangs round of my shore.
Oh!
She's underage.
Yeah.
You should be scared of her. That Rolling Stones brand needles and dynamite. What a sight. She's looking mighty fine. She looks 25, but she's just a teen.
1033 at 560 WQM. So my close personal friend Sean from Northwestern, who called on the show yesterday and apologizes for the length and the psychosis of his call, but nevertheless, compared to most of the calls yesterday, not too bad, Sean. But anyway, called me at home last night. He's on the dean's list at Northwestern about his grades, and he's watched that video 600 times and still can't find the part where the girl is picking the thing out of her crotch, her shorts. How can you miss that? How can you possibly miss that? Although I guess if you do keep saying, oh, I didn't see it, let's watch the video again, it's a good excuse to keep watching it over and over and over again until you get, like, squirt, just right. So anyway, getting back to, am I ever going to get this story on or not?
No.
I do so good at this. I can milk something for, even Elsie the Borden cow never got milked like this story. So Joe Rose, we're sitting here 9:15, minding your own business, and all of a sudden somebody opens up the doorway, you mother, and just screaming and yelling and in the hallway, which is not unusual for here, but nevertheless it's unusual. One of the parties is Joe Rose, and the other one is Duff Lindsay. Screaming and yelling and shrieking, go home, you're out of here, F you, all this other good stuff. Just go home. And like I said before, in this particular case, and I sit here, I analyze it, I listen to both sides of the story, and let me just say this to you guys in the morning, okay? If you're smart, there's only one guy in that, and far be it from me, 6 months ago I never would have said this. There's only one guy in there who's smart, and that's Gildy. I'm telling you. I mean, is it Beefo?
No.
That's a joke. Beefo, if he was smart, he wouldn't be, force-feeding. And Joe, I thought Joe might be smart, but hiding it very well, covering it up, real well with that gigantic head of his. I thought he's been covering it up, and he's not covering it up, is he?
No.
No. Because if you want to bitch and scream and holler about those breaks, which I've been going to bat for months and months about that horrible format. In fact, I even congratulated them on what a miracle it is they get any ratings with a horrible format like that. Is it the program director's fault? No. It's management's fault, and the program director on this radio station, like I said before, is an impotent guy. He has nothing to say about it. The sales department, which I've told you since the day I sat down here, they run this joint. Because, number one of the sales managers, she's got a lot of naked pictures of Greg, I guess back when he was blind and looked like his kid, or whatever, in a broom closet somewhere. She's got him locked up. So she calls the shots on that. And number two, because the Beasleys, of course, they want to crank as much money out of this joint as they can, out of all the stations. They don't care if we ran. I told Screw-Ann this last year when we had our big blow up, and of course since then she only whispers and comes in very infrequently, thank God. I told her, I said, if I would let you run 40 minutes an hour, you'd do it. If it wasn't in my contract, if we didn't have a written understanding on limited spots on this show, you'd run 55 minutes an hour. Well, yeah, maybe. Of course. The sales department doesn't care about the format, and all they care about as far as the ratings are concerned is that they're still good enough so that we can sell because there's no competition on AM anyway, especially for the target audience that we got out there, the lifeless sports jocks, the lifeless sports nerds. Oh, Hank, you look beautiful. I want you, Hank. Come on, pal. Give me a break, okay? Give me a break. So, it's very easy to run around blaming others. I would check the content of the show first. Before I'd start blaming anybody for the long commercial breaks, I'd start listening to the content. Maybe take some tapes of the show home, Joe, and start listening to that content. Hey, guys, you think, and then believe me, I'm not saying that we get any good calls on the show. The last good call we had on the show was, 7 years ago on IOD? I mean, we don't get good calls, but who cares? We don't care. Don't you understand? Like I said, the only guy in there who's got any brains is Gildy. And I'm pushing him, by the way, for the voice of the Panthers because he's not a bad... See, I was wrong about him. And I'm one of those people. I'm not a hard ass. If I'm wrong about people, I'll be the first one to say it. He's not a bad guy, in spite of what George used to tell me. No, I don't even remember what you ever said about him, other than he had a twerpy voice, which he's
I said he was a good guy.
He is a good guy.
Mensch.
He is. Gildy's a good guy. And I judged him strictly based. First of all, he did suck a lot of Panther ass. There's no question about that because he works for that organization. And it's, and that doesn't, I've never excluded anybody from being a friend of mine just because they sunk Panther ass. You know what I mean? Even if they didn't play too good the night before.
They stunk.
There are some guys that suck Panther ass because it goes with their job. They're on a payroll over there. And if Wayne's going to pay you, you better suck a lot of ass.
They stunk.
Yeah, you better not say that again, mister. So Gildy is the one guy on that show. He's got the right attitude, the right philosophy, and these other guys, oh, you got to go to bat for us. I don't understand that. Am I like the designated switch hitter? Is that what it is? I don't switch hit. I'm a perfect 6 on the Richter scale, okay? We got some guys that are a perfect 1. I'm a perfect 6. I don't mess around with fish. Okay, guys? Get it right. God, go to bat for us. Pussy. That's the only word that comes to mind when I think of those two guys in there, Beefo and Little Dog. Pussy. And Joe's on there ripping them. Why you guys have to come to me to do your dirty work, okay? And why do you go to the poor program director who you know has no authority to take any spots off the air or change the format in any significant way unless he wants to get his ass canned out of here? What do you go to him and start a big song and dance? Why not go to Greg when he comes back in town? It's easy to do this on a great day when Greg ain't here, by the way, in Philadelphia. Or go to Screw Ann. There's the chigger in a woodpile, is Screw Ann. She's the one that's dumping spots in there like they're coming out of her rectum. In fact, they were coming out of there before she borrowed that thing from our buddy.
Roy!
I guess she plugged up that problem. 21 before 11 at 560 WQAM. Oh, now what was that? That was it? What was that? Is that like a
new hurricane thing?
Well, how come nobody bothered telling me about it? I'm sitting here like with my pants down. What?
It's more fun this way.
Okay, I don't really care. See, I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't want the audience to get the feeling I'm off of my thing. I don't care. By the way, they got this latest poll. I mean, it wasn't bad enough. We did the most important person of the century. That was good. Wait till whatever day we decide to kill with Hollywood's brightest stars, this thing they did. About the 50 greatest screen legends, male and female. Oh, brother. What kind of drugs were they on when they did that? So anyway, I was about to say, this morning I come into work and they're talking about Phil Jackson. I don't give a flying crap if they're playing Phil Jackson. $75 million for that snowball crap, okay? One of the most exciting games, which started out kind of comatose after the first goal, but nevertheless, turned into a great game last night. Are they talking about that?
No.
No. And by the way, if they hire Jiggs McDonald to do the Panther games, I'm walking out. I don't want to start threatening anybody, okay? In fact, I'm trying to figure out in my mind which would offend me worse, them hiring Todd Dreck, I mean, if he walked in here again, or hiring Jiggs McDonald. I mean, Jiggs is a good guy. I like Jiggs personally, and et cetera, and so on, but he is boring. He's coming to, here's Geldy, a young guy in the organization. Give him a chance. He did a great job filling in for Christina Moore, 1,000 times better than Christina, by the way, from everything I heard. And, give him a chance. Give some of these people a shot at it, okay? Bring back an old hack that's been fired 75,000 times. What are you people thinking about over there in the Panther organization? Jiggs freaking McDonald that got run out of Toronto on a rail after 1 year there? They said, we want Joe Bowen back. Get that man out of here now. And they said, okay, calm down. Man. They said, we'll take Foster and Bill Hewitt back, even doing the game from their box. We'll take that instead of Jiggs McDonald. But that's the way things are done in this town, okay? But let me say it again for Joe Rose, okay? Because I'm sure that Joe thought I would come down on his side, and I'm not going to do that because you're wrong. You're absolutely, positively wrong. And we'll find out from this audience. Now, I hear through the grapevine that maybe there might be some people out there a little bit put off by those long 20 and 30 and 40-minute breaks that they got in the morning. What difference does it make? Are we here to get ratings?
No.
Are we here to, make money for the company?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Make money for ourselves?
Uh-huh.
So stop being so uptight and stop browbeating little guys who have no power, who'd like to make things better, who'd like to change things, but can't. What's the point? It's like guys that run around screaming at the board ops and the interns. I don't want to mention no names, you know what I'm saying? I mean, what's the point of browbeating the underling? That doesn't take any talent. I mean, when you call up Greg Reed in his office and you say, how come my goddamn check wasn't here today, mister, like I did last Friday, and say this is a bunch of crap, then, okay, it takes a little bit of balls, which evidently the morning guys don't have because they got to come to me. Oh, you got to go to bat for us. Have I ever asked anybody go to bat for me and go on the air and scream and shout on my behalf?
No.
No. I want to scream and shout. I'll do it on my own behalf. I don't go to other people asking them to go to bat for me. What kind of a bunch of pussies do a thing like that? And then turn around and get into a big screaming match and nearly a fist fight in the hallway with a program director, who, even though he hangs out at the gym a lot, I don't think is going to take on the little dog. Huh? Well, you don't bulk up too much in the showers, but nevertheless. I mean, what kind of crap was that, Joe? You were absolutely, positively wrong. You and Beefo, wrong. And before you do that again, think 2 or 3 times. I mean, it got to the point where Lindsay is saying, you're out of here. Go home. Just go home. Go home. Like this was like a kindergarten or something. You're out of line, Johnny. Leave the class. Go home. Oh, by the way, did you hear that story 2 days ago, which I can't find anywhere in the newspapers, about that dark-complected kid at North Miami High? 10th grade, I think. Smashed the teacher in the mouth several times. Well, the teacher said, sit down and be quiet. And then he said, well, sit down and shut up. And one of the kid's friends, also dark-complected from the school, said, well, the kid did start the fight, but the teacher was wrong. He shouldn't have told him to shut up. First, he told him to sit down and be quiet, and then he wouldn't do it. He said, sit down and shut up, and he still wouldn't do it. He said, stop making an ass out of yourself. And his friend says, oh, well, he shouldn't have talked to him like that. He should have said, Mr. Johnson, would you please sit down? Pretty please. Can you believe that? And so this kid hauls off and smashes him in the head 3 or 4 times. There you go, and you wonder what's wrong with your kids, what's wrong with America, what's wrong with this whole setup here. Is there something wrong with this picture? Yeah, I bet your sweet ass there is. So if you think there's something wrong with that morning show, let's find out. Is it the format or is it the content? Is it those awful goddamn calls? Is it those New York people on there? Is it those Knicks? Is that, what's that guy's name, that Jets guy? Oh, my God, that one, that chronic, Billy the Jet fan, that's the guy. I'd rather hear that old John from Key West guy, and I'd rather croak before I ever heard him again. Maybe you might start examining the content there, that you let a bunch of people, it's a tune-out. It's a tune-out. I got my CDs smoking there in the car in the morning. Smoking, smoldering. There's fire in my CD player there in the morning. It's cranked up so loud. In addition to which, like I said before, who gives a rat's ass? What difference does it make? Are we now on some kind of a mission to make each other miserable in this joint just when everything was going so great? Just when even that hard-ass Neil Rodgers finally adopted the attitude thanks to my new mentor, Steve Goldstein, and I said,
I don't give a shit.
And all of a sudden we were happy. Everybody's having a good time. We're faking our way through real good. The checks are showing up maybe only a day late, which ain't too bad for them. Just when everything's going along real good, and all of a sudden everybody was getting... And, I said to Duff when he came in here a little while, after this whole thing, I said, we had the best book in the history of the station, then we had a trend that came out when Arbitron couldn't find our audience the whole day. Not just one show, not just the morning show, or the whole day. Arbitron, and that happens. That's the chigger in the woodpile with their surveying methods. Every now and then, some station gets a big kiss, and they get a lucky bunch of diaries, and other stations, they can't find our audience. It's a miracle it doesn't happen more often, especially on this station. I mean, how can they find those sports nerds month after month? And so we had one bad month, and like I said, what's going to happen if we ever have a really bad book? You talk about people at each other's throats, doing Cuban bullets at each other. Take a chill, Joe, okay? Take a chill and reanalyze your position in life and stop picking on people who can't solve your problem. If you're bent out of shape about the 9 minutes, then go on here and scream and holler about it like I do, and sometimes with some success, and change some things. And don't expect me to do it for you, me to do your dirty work. I got my own. I got Todd Dreck to deal with. I don't have time with your bullcrap to worry about, with your 9-minute long breaks. And believe me, compared to some of the calls you got, the breaks are pretty entertaining. Although maybe you guys in the morning would like to give up all those live spots you're doing and all the income that comes from it. Don't you guys understand we're here for the spots? We're not here to entertain anybody. We're not here to put on a great show. We're here to make money. And I'm the only one honest enough to tell the audience, hey, screw all of that other bull crap. That's window dressing. We're here to make money. It's a living. Masta Leben, as they say in Chinese, okay? That's the way it works. So you ought to kiss the ground, Joe, with that big, gigantic head of yours if you can get your lips close enough to the ground. You ought to kiss the ground. You're making the big bucks, okay? I mean, you're a good guy, but nevertheless, way out of line this morning. And I think the head is swelling. I'm beginning to understand what it really is. It's not just a figment of my imagination. The head is swelling literally. His head is becoming too big for his goddamn britches is what's happening to little dog. Out of control. And he's not only bitching him out, but in between, I go in the control room to see what this is all about, what's going on. And during their 25-minute commercial break, he's bitching Geldy and Beefo out. You're the two biggest bunch of pussies I ever worked with. Out of control, Joe. You're wrong. You lose. When we start respecting you is when we see you put on a show like that with Screw Ann or with Greg Reed or somebody who's got some authority around here. Or maybe with
Roy.
Yeah. By the way, I want you guys on all the other shows on this station to go to bat for me and see if you can't get Roy to bring our big black dildo back. Yeah, let's see. I haven't had any success. Maybe some of you guys can go to work on it, okay, and get my big, big black dildo back. That I think I have a real good idea where it's hiding.
Rectum.
But I don't want to give too many specific instructions on where to look for it, okay? God. What kind of people have we got running? Oh, and speaking of what kind of people, this is perfect for this town. You know what I'm saying? After I told my Roots Chris story yesterday, as much as I love the food and about how they kind of like on Monday night, after spending all that money in there 2 out of 3 nights, kind of like gave us the, I don't want to say cold shoulder, but like to you, you know? Maybe a free glass of water we might give you, but that's about it. So I'm driving home yesterday from work. Now, there's a mailman. You've heard me talk about him. I've known him longer than I know you, George. Rick. He was the mailman in my neighborhood. Used to be my mailman out there in the acres. And then, of course, so they changed his route a little bit, but he's still a mailman out in that general area. Now, every day when I'm coming home, because he's in that area, he's good and early. He does a good job for his people that are on his route. And every day if I see him, for years now, I wave to him, he waves back. Once a couple of times we stopped and chatted with each other. He's a pretty good guy, although he's the same guy, by the way, that while he was still delivering my mail, came to the door that day with a package and said, we were getting ready to turn it off. It was getting pretty bad. Remember that? We were getting ready, and I just had envisioned in my mind the picture of him with his hand on the knob, and the radio too. We were getting ready. In other words, our hand is poised on the dial, and the show was getting so bad, and the callers were getting so obnoxious, we were ready to turn it off. That was a few years ago, and he still ain't turned it off, and I'm sure he's listening right now. So yesterday I'm driving home, and he's like at the corner of one of the side streets, off 118th, and I'm coming up the road, and it's at the point where he's sitting there, and he's looking in my direction. He knows both of my cars. He knows me, and it's like that point where you're almost close enough where you're about to, wave hi, and he turns and looks the other way. So I thought to myself, well, maybe he didn't see me. Even though I know he did see me, I'm thinking, maybe he didn't see me, okay? Because, or maybe I said something. What did I say to offend you, Rick? Maybe he likes OJ. I don't know. So then I go to Publix. I'm coming home from Publix. I come up the street. Now he's coming out of another street. And he looks at me kind of like Igor. Like that. And okay, whatever I did, I'm awfully sorry. Not, man. And that's the South Florida effing way, baby. That's the kind of friends you have down here. You make a friend someplace else, you have a friend for life. You make a friend down here, you have a friend for 5 minutes. If you're lucky. Fickle, hostile, hateful, nasty. What did I do lately for you? Just like that thing with Joe and terrorizing the poor PD. I mean, what's wrong with this man? Why would anybody do this to this man? Does this guy go around browbeating people, screaming at people? I mean, he's as mellow as a carpet, as an area rug. And we got this guy with a big head running around there. Your mother, 9-minute effing breaks. Like I said, some of those commercials are a lot more entertaining than, talk about any other New York team besides the Yankees. What do you think of that team? You catch my drift?
Uh-huh.
I'd rather hear Lenny Martez doing spots than some of the content on that show. Not that I want to pick on Beefo. 3 minutes before 11 at 560 WQAM. Here's...
Look at all the redneck girls, cut off certain hair and curls, go into the bar to get free drinks. Oh! Getting beat by redneck slobs like what you see each night on cops. They're what put the in country. Look at all the redneck sluts eating lunch at Pizza Hut in their greenside winder Walmart shorts. They smell like an old wet dog. Their pickups rotting off the lawn and promising the Lord to breed some more. Somebody tell me why all trailer parks smell like candles, burnt tomato soup from hell. Nipple rings and belly tats and velvet Jesus welcome answer. Brother plays the banjo in a tree. Takes pride in her heritage and says incest is still the best foundation of a Christian family.
Yes.
Born again. They praise the Lord. Oh! And bang their neighbors when they're poor.
Oh, God!
What would Jerry Springer do without those redneck women who put the in country?
Can I ask you a question? Because that's a new one. I mean, is there such a word as country? It's 11:03 at 560, and can we say it on the air?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, just examine that in your mind for a moment or two, what the possibilities are there. So anyway, let's find out from these experts out there who hate that morning show like that. Maybe they like the show. Maybe they like the content. Maybe they don't like those 9-minute breaks. Let's find out, okay? Let's find out who was right and who was wrong. And even if he was right, let me say it again, Joe's got no business picking on a guy who has... That would be like him going to Igor in the other room in production back there. Oh, we're pissed off about these 9 minutes. What the hell's Igor going to do about it? Has he got any authority about it?
No.
You bet your sweet ass he don't. Is he going to mess with that log?
No.
No, he's not.
Anybody in this building messes with that log, he'll have to answer to the water Nazi immediately, not sooner, okay? And that's one person you don't want to be messing with is the water Nazi. Because you're finito, baby. You'll be using her handicap sticker, only you'll need it for real, unlike her. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. And then we'll get into the important stuff. And by the way, I'm sure we're going to get a lot of calls about that great hockey game last night, aren't we?
No.
No. What a place. What a place. What a wasteland. What a total wasteland. A sports station in a place where they wouldn't know a hockey puck if you stuck it in their goddamn ass. Pathetic. Here's Mobile in Hialeah. Hello.
Hello, Neil?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was calling about the hockey game last night.
Really?
Yeah, it was a great game. The best play, though, was by Ed Belfour when he made the double save on Miroslav's Satan.
Yeah,
When he came around, I like to use the English saying.
Hockey played great, though, man. He was a little psychotic, but he played great.
Yeah, but
it was great.
It definitely was a hockey goal. I mean, a goalie duel last night.
Yeah, but how do you like that move Jeff Sanderson put on Belfour, though, huh? He faked it. He left his cup right. Oh, and by the way, I'm sure you were watching Fox and not CBC. This is the first time in history that a guy was interviewed with his jockstrap on. Jeff Sanderson had taken off his suspenders, seriously, and he's holding up his pants and like half of his jock, you know, and they've shown the camera angle, I think, intentionally, so that everybody who's watching CBC sees Jeff Sanderson's jockstrap there. And I'm thinking, you got it. And then they finally lifted it up higher, so you see Don Cherry and Sanderson from the shoulders up. And now they back off again, and then Cherry reaches over to shake his hand at the end of the interview. I thought, oh, my God, he's got to take one hand off his pants.
He's got to wash it.
His pantaloons were going to hit the ground, but they didn't. I mean, I never saw anything like it in my life. But what a move that was by Jeff Sanderson, baby. What did I tell you about that kid? If that kid would show up and play with his ability every night, which he never has his whole career, but if he did, he'd be a superstar. He's unbelievable.
Listen, what I'm enjoying is all the shots the goaltenders are taking and that they're giving out. You see the punch to the back of the head that that was good.
That
but
was
listen,
great.
you are correct about the morning show. Definitely too many commercials. But the worst show on your station is the Sony Sports Showdown.
Oh, the
on
Sony
Saturday
Sports Show. I'm not ready for that.
No.
That blows.
I love the promo for that. Are you ready for this?
No.
But keep in mind, that's a trade deal for Beefo to make a lot of, he's got to have 75 jobs to eke a living out, you know?
And she is getting big. She is getting big, by the way.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
To get to, when you have to eat all those meals, Beefo, you got to have like 20, 30, 40 different jobs. He's got the Sunshine, the Whammy Show. He's got the Saturday morning trade out show. That's in his contract, which I'll be reading on here a little bit later, by the way. I have it in my briefcase still, but remember Beefo's contract that we have a copy of? It just was laying around there at IOD. I mean, I have no problem with those guys, but don't when I walk in the building. The first, they're all standing in the hallway, and the first thing they start screaming at me was sexual harassment. Now, what was that all about, okay? I mean, I'm not on the verge of filing any suit. I mean, I like this guy. He's, he is coming on to me a little bit too much, but nevertheless. And then they follow that up with, oh, you got to go to bat for us. I'm not going to bat for anybody. I've gone to bat for you a million times, and all I do is get ripped on that show anyway. All I do is get ripped. Oh, that's a faggot hockey show, and they all sit there like they got lockjaw. Every time they get one of those comments for one of their jock sniffers, one of their closet fag sports callers, oh, yeah, we got nothing to say about that. Well, of course not. You're delighted to let some asshole call her and rip me an ass. So why the hell should I go to bat for you guys? And yes, the breaks are too goddamn long, and I've said that for a month. How could anybody listen through? Whoever heard on AM radio of a 9-minute break? Anybody hear that?
No.
Only the Beasleys. Only the measly Beasleys heard of that. Because they want the goddamn money, that's why. I'll tell you, I would respect him if I'd see him with Greg Reed in the hallway and Joe Rose carrying on like that. Then maybe I'd have some respect for him. Instead of, oh, Gregory this and Gregory that, sucking his ass every chance he gets. See, that don't take any talent, especially when you're a big ex-football player that's about 6'9", that's got a head the size of Mars, that doesn't take any talent to suck Greg Reed's ass, which I refuse to do until he brings in those pictures. He's working on him. He's supposed to be in Philadelphia. He's not there. He's at some goddamn photo lab right now, working, doctoring up those pictures. Oh, yeah, they're really my kids. You believe me, huh?
No.
I was showing Scran, by the way, about some of the copy we got, and she just turns around and walks out of here because she doesn't care. We don't know whose account it is. We haven't got a clue. The copy is 5 minutes long. It's 100 years old. All of these things, okay? She turns around and waltzes out of here like that, and that's it. Now, in the old days, I'd get upset about that. But guess what? I don't give a crap. I don't give a flying about it. How do you like that? I don't give a flying F-U about it. If nobody else cares, and obviously the clients don't care, like the ones who used to get their spots stuck in the ball games until they started complaining too much when they put the Marlins games on early, even though they bought the Neil Rodgers show. Oh, you didn't buy the Neil Rodgers show. You bought the time slot, didn't you?
No.
Don't you want to be on when those 40 people are listening to the Marlin game?
No.
Huh? Come on, we got to have something to stick in there, make it look like we got spots. What am I getting all worked up about for? What am I getting all psychotic about? Huh? That was entertaining. It was one of the most entertaining things I've seen in a long time, because this is really a pretty boring place. But a little bit of fireworks. Like I said, thanks a lot, Joe.
Oh!
Good job, sweetheart. shake these bastards up a little bit. And here's Bluff running up and down. Oh, I'm going to have a nervous breakdown. And I told him, just calm down, relax, go back, sit down there. What are you worried about? What are you getting so crazy about? You're going to have a nervous breakdown over some dumb ex-jock that's mouthing off to him about stuff that he can't do anything about, and we all know that? You got to take the guilty attitude, baby.
I don't give a shit anymore.
There you go. Say it.
Oh!
Again. 10 past 11 at 560 WQAM. With you.
So we're talking about Dade County and shit. Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, kids. Are you tired of that neighborhood bully?
He stole my lunch money.
Ah, shut up, kid. And tell your mom to hold the mail next time.
Next time, fight back.
But he's bigger than me.
No. Just tell Mom next time she hits the candy aisle at the grocery store, pick up a pack of new Shot Cat candy bars.
Shot Cat?
Yes, it's a new candy bar made entirely from recycled cow dung, guaranteed to turn your stomach. So next time...
All right, kid, give me a lunch.
No. Please don't take it.
Just shut up and hand it over.
Okay, here you go. But whatever you do, please don't eat my candy bar.
Hey, cool. Ah, this tastes like shit.
So, you want my lunch tomorrow, too?
We got a hunch. You gotta blow lunch when you take a bite of that Shot Cat bar.
Okay, it's 11:15 at 560 WQAM, and let me just say this to you, okay, little dog. For example, we had 7 calls on the board here before that break. Now there's only 2 because the other people I hang up. Do I care? Do I give a crap?
No.
I couldn't care less. Couldn't give a rat's ass less. I mean, you got to have some material. There's 3 of you guys in there. What are you worried about the breaks, okay? 3 of you guys to be in there and make magic and make it interesting and titillating and exciting and, conjure up something. Make chopped liver out of dog crap. That's what you got to do. And it's interesting to me that back during the winter book, when the morning had a great number for some amazing reason, and this radio station had the highest rating in the history of the modern, I'll say it again. They were still running 9-minute breaks then, weren't they?
Uh-huh.
So where's the logic in that? I don't see any flood of people calling in here saying, oh, we turn the show off because the commercial breaks are too long. We may have people calling and saying, oh, we turn it off because it sucks. We might have some of those people calling in. You think we'll have some of those?
Uh-huh.
Maybe. By the way, what happened to the overhead? Did it disappear? It's just, boy, it took a turn for the worst. But that's the way it goes. Like, I've already killed an hour and 16 minutes here and haven't even begun to say anything yet. Haven't even gotten into that stupid poll about the actors and actresses. We can kill 5 days with that, and then we'll go back to the Time magazine and the most influential asshole of the century. Like I said before, I'm starting to get pissed off at Joe Rose because just when I thought we had the Todd Dreck problem solved yesterday, which we didn't need to get into in the first place if he would have left everybody the hell alone, contrary to popular rumor, I'd much rather be a happy camper. I'd like to be mellow, low-key. I like things going well. Even if, nothing's going to change here. As long as Greg Reed and the Beasleys own this place, is anything ever going to change?
No.
No. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that. They're a bunch of cheap, know-nothing assholes. That's all. And Greg, like I said, ain't that bad of a guy, but knows nothing about this business, and I'd be the first one to tell you that. Nothing. Zero. We got all these sports franchises here, and they're like an albatross. Even one of the sales machers was out there in the hallway when I said that to our program director and agreed with me. It's like an albatross around our necks. Half the goddamn money that comes in this joint's got to go to Wayne Henry and Wayne Hypinga, or John Henry, or Wayne Henry, whoever, or Trevor Henry, whoever he is. So we got to make a fortune. We got to get all these spots on just so we can pay Baldy, okay? Now, if he was screaming about that, then I might understand it. But, of course, Baldy just signed his buddy Danny Boyd in 2 more years. I think Dan Marino should play until he's 60. What do you think, huh?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Let's sign Danny to a 20-year long-term deal for $150 million. What do you think, huh?
Oh!
Yeah. He can play forever. And then we can scream and holler about that forever, okay? I wouldn't be surprised if Danny and Joe used to shower real close together when they were on the team together that first year. I wouldn't even be surprised if they were showering in stalls right next to each other. And I'm not talking about after the game. Here's North Miami Beach. Hello.
Yeah, hey, Neil. How you doing?
Okay, sir.
I don't get a chance to call too often, but I was listening to you.
Well, nobody else does either. It's the summertime, and we're doing better than last summer. Last summer at this time, I was playing music to Phil. We had no calls. No.
Anyways, I was listening a couple of days ago, and you were mentioning about the hot games, and nobody was calling. And I was kind of stumped because I'm going to tell you the truth, to be honest with you, that this is probably some of the best hockey finals I've ever seen in my life. These games are great.
4 years in a row we had sweeps, okay? We had New Jersey swept, we had the Colorado swept the Panthers before that, and then Detroit swept 2 years in a row. So 4 years in a row we had coma-inducing series, 4 straight, no interest at all. And now we got 2-2. We've had some real tough games in it. We had great goaltending, and it's getting great.
I'll tell you, the hockey. I'm telling you, this is probably one of the best finals I've seen. It's been fantastic. I can't believe nobody called.
I love it. No, they don't know. They don't care. They don't understand it. And then here we got this Panther factor. We had the one day that both papers, Michael J. Neal and Michael Russo and David J. Neal, they decided to write a piece about the ex-Panther factor, and that was it. You would think that everybody in town would be talking about that. Here's Stu Barnes, Jason Woolley playing phenomenal. Here's that Screwdlin got a stupid penalty there last night because he keeps losing his cool like he did here the last 2 years. That's right. Screwy. You're screwy. You suck.
Let me ask a question. What do you think of Barry Melrose?
He needs a haircut.
No, I mean, you think
you know what?
Do you think he's not the bonus hockey?
Yeah, he's okay. I mean,
I don't like him that much.
Huh?
I don't think he's that great.
But it's all relative compared to those little figure skaters like Greg Millen and those other little torpy guys they got on there. He's not that bad.
No, you're right.
Compared to Terry Crisp, who not only has a bad haircut, but the worst analyst in the history of mankind.
That's the truth.
Fox admitted to the world that they were dumping out of hockey and they were losing it after this year when they started putting Terry Crisp and that stupid broad on there together on that in between periods.
You're exactly right. You're right.
Terry Crisp, he's an imbecile.
Yeah, I gotta go. No.
Okay, see you.
Bye.
Okay, listen, I'm sorry to take up so much of your time there. 5, 6, 7. We got several open lines on the board, and like I said, I mean, I'm used to this. I've been around the block a few times, okay? Is it the spots that kill the morning show, or is it those calls? And yeah, we get a lot of fruitcakes on this show, but that's supposed to be a part of this show. But the sport, in fact, I was talking to somebody yesterday. I want to mention my good friend Sean. He was telling me about the sports talk radio up in Chicago. And he says it's like day and night. He says the calls they get there are A, from people that know what they're talking about, and B, they're interesting. When's the last time you had one of those calls here? What was the year? Huh? I think Woodrow Wilson was the president, just before World War I broke out. Was the last time we had a great sports call on this radio station. Oh, Hank, you look beautiful. I want to grab you. I want to squeeze your rectum. Oh, my wife wants you too. I wanted to pull off the side of the road and vomit. I've heard some suction in my life, and believe me, I know a thing or two about suction. But that was just unbelievable. And and Hank looks a lot better than he did. Like I said before, he was the schmoo. But nevertheless, does he look beautiful?
No.
No. Do I look beautiful?
No.
If I lost 35 pounds, which I wouldn't. Would I look great?
No.
No. Fat old Jews. That's all. That's what we are. So why do you have to ingratiate? Why do you have to suck so much ass? And I remember talking about this a year and a half ago after listening to these sports calls on this station. Suck, 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 suck. And just like when Brian Murray came on there with that contrived thing on Tuesday mornings, and, they didn't need Christina Moore to run interference on there because most of the callers were suckholes anyway. Oh, whatever you say, Brian, whatever you say. Just sucking and sucking and sucking and licking around the edges, doing a rim job right there on the goddamn coach's show. Oh, did he say rim job?
Uh-huh.
Sorry. Don't want to get George upset. I don't understand you. I really don't. You're just such a hard-ass little spick. In fact, Rimmer asked me that yesterday. He said, what is wrong with him? What is he? I said, because he's a hard-ass little spick. He's okay. And that's just the way it is. That doesn't make him a bad guy. He's just a hard-ass, stubborn little spick, just set in his ways, and nothing is going to change him. It's like trying to move a goddamn mountain range. You ain't going to do it. This is the way it is, and that's it. Period. So, Rimmer, you're an asshole, okay? I didn't say that. George said it. Farrell, you're not so bad, but you got problems, too. I don't know what they are yet, but I'm sure he'll find some. 567-0560, pound 560, as we continue exploring what's wrong with that goddamn morning show. It's interesting. Before the last trend came out, there was nothing wrong with the show, according to everybody else. Kicking ass. And like I said, if you're that insecure, big blockhead, if you're that insecure that one crappy trend and you're going to start screaming and jump up and down and putting on a performance like this morning like Rumpelstiltskin and eat, then what's going to happen when you get a really crappy book, which will happen to all of us, especially in this place with all the great promotion we're never going to get. And we know we're not going to get it. So just get used to it. Get with the program. Start listening to Geldy, okay? Like I said, he's the only one of that trio that has any clue what it's all about. Here's Sunrise. Hello.
Neil?
Yes, speaking.
First of all, for the morning show, the best thing about it is it's not Howard.
Yeah.
Second of all, that spot that you were running,
Yeah, but they're going to start bringing some lesbians on next week, though, I hear.
Lovely.
That's going to be the new
is
deal.
it golf season?
In fact, I think Joe's being replaced by two bull dykes.
Secondly, that log on to WQAM that you were doing the nose over.
Yes.
That modem tone in that is actually a fax machine and not a computer, just so you know.
Great.
Third, as far as that list of the 50 greatest male and female stars.
Yes, sir.
Let's hear it for Julius Marx and his brothers.
They're number 20.
But they're there.
Yeah.
And that material, anyway.
How come Peter Finch isn't on that list?
Who?
Peter. Okay. See, there you go. Peter Finch, for Christ's sakes, don't you? What do you know about life?
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. Oh!
Who? So anyway, getting back to the person of the century, Spike Lee. I mean, don't you just want to get up and walk out in the yard and sit on the ground and look up at the sky for a few hours when somebody says something like that woman? Yeah, and I could understand if it was like a drooler, somebody that called and preceded the comment by saying something like, "No, not that. Why does that keep doing that? That's 2 days in a row." Like that. This thing is rebelling now. It's got a goddamn mind of its own. That thing don't have two TTs in front of it, huh? Oh, you can't say TT on here, only on Mandish's show? Well, TT to you, okay? Spike Lee. And she was serious. You know something, sweetheart? I take back what I said. Stay up there in Fort Pearson Bureau. You'll fit in like a glove. Only don't mention Spike Lee too loud up there. Stick with Steven Spielberg. Most of them look like E.T. In fact, that's who Chris Bonadonna looks like, whatever that guy's name is.
Rathouse.
Cathouse. Chris Cathouse. He looks like, E.T. on a bad day. See, now he's never going to speak to me. And like I told you, you know who he really looks like?
Are you?
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong, okay? Phil is, I'm no bigger fan in the world of Phil Henry than me. But Phil, see, I used to like working for Phil because, number one, he was a great talent. And number two, he made me look good. Because Phil is one of the ugliest. He's a pretty ugly guy.
Are you sure?
Positive. We just took a vote. You're ugly. I'm beautiful compared to you, and I'm grotesque, okay? Yeah, he looks a lot like Phil, but without the talent. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Maybe we'll hear from Rick the mailman. You think so?
No.
You ain't talking to me anymore?
No.
See, I'll tell you one place. The only one place left is Publix. I go into Publix. I'm a superstar. They love me in Publix. I went in there last night to get like 3 or 4 items, and they're like surrounding me. You would have thought that Ricky Martin just walked in. And I said, Kenneth Mas Macho, and they said, oh, definitely.
Oh, God.
Yeah, no contest there. As I sashayed out of that joint. It's 11:26 at 560 WQAM, and let me tell you about. So, what are we doing for lunch, by the way? Did we get a hold of? We got a hold of Ponytail. Good, he must have known he had a spot running today, and he better get over here. And don't listen to any more of his perverted stories either. Okay? We're putting cotton in your ears. You're too young to be hearing all that disgusting, filthy stuff from our good friend Jeff Cohen at the Pizza Loft, where the food is delicious and fresh, and the stories are smoldering hot. And probably made up, okay? And he might still be giving out those pencil-thin anal vibrators with every purchase at the Pizza Loft if you're over the age of 10.
I like the wee-wee. A white lace dress and a pink carnation. I'm all dressed up for the prom. Hey, to all my Hunderling sisters out there, I just got to tell you about my good friend Jeff the Florist. You know, Valentine's Day is almost a year away, so if you're looking for a lovely floral bouquet for your lover, my friend Jeff at Jeff the Florist will personally arrange the ginchiest bouquet of flowers you ever saw. Hey, just look at the delightful arrangements Jeff has today, like the Boo-Foo Bocamber Basket of Blooms, and the Geldy Nosegay, and my personal favorite, the Joe Rose. You see, when you push the button on the bass like this is what you'll hear. Oh, that's so sweet. And if you ask to see Jeff out back, he'll open up his pants to let you in on a secret special he's saving just for you. So sashay on down to Jeff the Florist or call 1-800-GOOD-BREAD-ALLY.
So what are you trying to say, Joe?
I like the wee-wee.
11:32 at 560 WQAM. We got Hank Goldberg over at Shula's at 2. I'm sure he's happy that he's over there today. It's a good day to be out of the building, Hank. There's fire in these hallways today. It's smoldering and smoking. By the way, that overhead you didn't turn up back where it was? It's very low, George. I understand you're potchking around. It's a little on the low side. Don't crack it too much, okay? 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT. Is Lee J. Cobb on his list, by the way? Is Lee J. Cobb on the list?
No.
The Marx Brothers are on the list, but not Lee J. Cobb, okay? What does that tell you? And Peter Finch, and the guy says to me, who's that? Oh, man. I think he's Spike Lee's brother-in-law. Here's a mobile in North Miami. Hello?
Howdy, Neil. I heard my name the other day. How you doing?
You heard your name?
Yeah, I heard somebody call say they're talking about Happy from Homestead.
Yeah.
And I just wondered. I've been away. I've been in Colorado for a year and just came back. I heard my name and thought I'd call and have a little talk.
Uh-huh.
So how's it going?
So what's new, Happy? Hap?
Well, you know, I used to hang out with the Bird years ago, but
yeah.
You know,
That's
we don't
why
know
we
who he
stopped
is.
talking to you. Yeah.
And
okay, well, listen, it's good hearing from you. Don't stick around in town too long. 567-0560. See, if you get a lot more calls like that on the morning show, Joe, you might get those numbers back.
Oh!
There you go. Instead of, any other teams from New York behind the Yankees, you have any thoughts about New York? 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line as we continue to dissect the psychological problems of the little dog who just lost it this morning and put on a display. And in the beginning, I agreed with him. I sided with him because I really wasn't privy to the whole deal that went on down there. And I said, yeah, go ahead and beat the crap out of him, okay? But then after I heard what had gone down and the fact that he's blaming, I mean, why would you guys, it would be like my going to the secretary in the dental paper pusher's office downstairs on the second floor, which we missed them very much. They turned out to be very nice people, and saying, hey, we got too many spots. Like, what's she going to do about it? But, of course, it wouldn't take any balls to go to the secretary down there on the second floor and start screaming at her like some kind of a banshee in heat. Would it, Joe? Huh? Would it take a lot of balls?
No.
Here's Sunrise. Hello.
Hello, Neil?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I want to help you figure out what's wrong with the morning show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm tired of? You know, they make fun of Joe. He has a big head, but look at Defoe. He's got a big pumpkin head. Look, round, fat head.
Defoe?
Yeah.
No, not anymore. Now that he gained all the weight, his head looks small compared to the rest of him. Maybe that's what he was trying to do, is like shrink his head. Maybe he wants to be Mr. Pinhead.
You know what I'm tired of, too, about Defoe?
Now, what is that,
Doofy is his comedic satire. It's like you can't even tell if he's trying to be a comedian or a damn sportscaster.
I think if he wants to do that, he should go out to KXEL in Waterloo, Iowa, because that's the only place where the corn is allowed to
go
go
away.
high. Yeah.
Tell him.
Okay, go away, Defoe. There you go. There's one call for the morning show, a little critique. He says, go away, Defoe. Don't go away mad. Just go away and take that Saturday morning Sony Sports or whatever that thing, a trade-out show with you, is what he said. Now they're starting to warm up to the task, okay? As we invite them to rip a hind end to some of these people who are like, and don't rip Geldy because he's my good new buddy now. I owe him a deep apology. See, the voice always, it still bothers me. But setting that aside, since we don't care about that, it was always that Panther, that suck-up deal, you know. But setting that aside, he's a pretty good guy, number one. And number two, he doesn't give a crap. He's not the one screaming and yelling at everybody and running out in the hallway and putting on a big song and a dance and acting like a big macho butcher. See, like I said before, guys who pick on little people. And Duff, regardless of what his title is, he's a little person. He's a little guy with a little teeny tiny desk and a little computer in it. He was sitting in a high chair before we embarrassed him. Exactly. He's got a little one. And a desk, too. So if you want to pick on the board ops and about the program director and all these other little insignificant people, then what does that say about you? And don't be pointing at the other two guys on the show, though, Joe, and calling them spineless. When I see you taking on somebody of some significance who's got authority around here and putting their feet to the fire, then I'll say, boy, that Joe, he's got a big pair, okay? A big head and a big pair. Fort Lauderdale, hello? I think right now he needs an O pair. Yeah, hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Uncle Neil, how you doing?
Great.
Just to weigh in on the morning team, it's the same old tired Drek every day.
Yeah, Drek?
Drek.
Yeah.
It's Beefo and Big Head.
Uh-huh.
They rank right up there with me with Beavis and Butthead.
Uh-huh.
So it comes back on at 10 o'clock when you're on the radio, my friend.
Okay.
And that's the end of it.
I'll pass it along.
Have a good
I'll
one.
pass it right down the line to a big head. 567-0560. Everybody likes a little head, but nobody likes a big head, okay? Here's Lake Worth. Hello?
Neil?
Yes, sir.
First time, long time. Yeah, I wanted to talk about the morning show.
Great. Let's hear it, pal. Hold nothing back. Get the gloves off and let's dissect this thing and find out what the real sugar in the woodpile is.
Well, if you only listen to that show for 5 minutes, you haven't missed anything because they just take the same couple of things and just rehash it all morning long. But in contrast, that's what makes your show so great. You talk about so many different
We're
things.
all over the goddamn place. That's our format, AOR, all over the road.
But you can't. I don't think you should criticize the guys because apparently that's what the people want. they call in and they want to talk about.
No, I'm not. Listen, I'm not criticizing the guys. All I'm doing is saying don't be picking on people who have no authority. Don't throw a tantrum in the building, blaming other people for your own deficiencies or for things that they can't control. What kind of a man does it take to do that?
Yeah. But it seems like the public wants to hear them argue for 2 hours about whether Phil Jackson's a good coach.
Oh,
Jordan
I'm going to tell you. Like I said, here's this great hockey game last night, one of the best games I've seen in a long time. It was scintillating. Hasek played great. Belfour played great. Just all kinds of good stuff in there. And I turned on the radio this morning. They're talking about some simpleton nitwit who used to be the coach of the Bulls when they had a team. And who the hell cares about him anyway? Who cares?
All right, great show, Neil.
Thank you so much. God bless you. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. The sports nerds, let me tell you again, are the people who need therapy. They need to be put in a big, big place and locked away behind with those big, what do they call those things where they have the maximum security prisons? The big round, you know what I'm talking about.
Towers?
No, not towers. The big, with the cutting edges with the steel. You know what I'm talking. What do they call that stuff?
Barbed wire.
Well, that's not barbed wire. They have a name for that. Razor wire, whatever the hell it is. Razor wire. That's what they need. Lots and lots of razor wire on the outside to make sure we keep them on the inside. The sports nerds. A very young Hurricane team went out there. Oh, give me a break already, will ya? Jesus Christ. Man, if these people would have known that Jeff Sanderson was on there last night on Hockey Night in Canada on CBC on a post-game interview in his jockstrap, they would have flown to the nearest sports bar. Oh, my God. There's a jockstrap. And let me say it again. It's all the only reason that any of this goes on in this radio station is because we have to feed Greg Reed's ego. That's the only reason that this goes on, and that's why we're mortgaged for the next 600 years to Wayne Hypinga and John Henry. Because we all have to work our asses off so we can feed Greg Reed's ego, so he can be the sports maven.
Oh, look at this. I'm at a sports station. I'm a big shot. I got tickets.
Are we impressed?
No.
How about the hairdo?
No.
Are those really his kids?
No.
20 before noon at 560 WQAM.
Neil? God?
Sure, you're a manly man, a man's kind of man, a man above men, but you still need your vitamins. Problem is, you ain't getting any. Bananas, you don't eat them because you think they make you look gay. Kiwi, tastes pretty good, but what kind of a sissy name is Kiwi? And lemon, please. The only thing you pucker up to is your Harley once you get it out of the shop. So the answer? Tough Guy vitamins. They're shaped like rocks, so you can look like a real man chomping them down. They even crunch like sand and have a sewage-like aftertaste. So if you want to keep that chest hair a-growing and them blackheads a-popping, you need your vitamins. And when you want vitamins, you need Tough Guy. And this month only, pick up a free twin pack of Tough Guy Iron Supplement. So much iron, it'll sound like you're crapping metal. Tough Guy, where the male ego lives.
Okay, it's 11:45 at 560 WQM. I don't care. Like I said, I really do have that philosophy now. I'm not going to worry about all these other things, but there was tension in the air so thick you could cut it with your little toe this morning. Everybody was running around back and forth. Oh, my God, you got to see what... And, of course, you could hear it. Of course, you were telling me last week that goes on in the hallway all the time here, which I don't hear it because I'm over here in the club. But you tell me that goes every time they open the door, you hear people screaming and carrying on out there in the hallway going like, like that. A lot of that, a lot of gnashing and screaming. I know we got a lot of screamers. Of course, most of them are in Power 96. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I don't listen to the morning show.
You don't?
That often. No, I listen to Howard, but I do turn over every now and then to listen on one of his breaks, and it's always in commercials, or they're always talking about the heat. So.
Well, wait a minute. Now, one thing I will say, I mean, there are a lot of people like Howard, but you can't compare their commercial breaks with Howard.
Oh, they're both long.
Howard's commercial breaks go on for like a half an hour.
No, you're right. But something. That's not even that. It's Hank's show I have a problem with.
Okay.
Because his show is reduced now to banquet stories and name dropping. The whole half hour of the show, that's all he does.
Well, what do you mean now?
Well, has he been doing that forever?
Oh, he's been name dropping. He's proud of that. Hank's a notorious name dropper.
You know, the Ron Frazier story.
He has entered in the name dropping Olympics this year with Larry King. They're the top two contenders, finalists.
Could you please play Jelly Roll?
Oh, is that sad? Is that pathetic? 567. How many? And you're talking about other people, sir, who have no material and say the same stupid thing every single time you call this goddamn show. You have no material. I hope Hank comes over to your house and has somebody beat the crap out of you. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. See what I mean about callers on radio shows? You have to. That's why I'd like to take, if we had that line over under the 1-800 line, which there, it's an impediment to our success. If I wanted to start stirring up the pot again and wasn't just laid back thanks to Geldy, I would start screaming about that again. If we had a Watts line for all the people listening on the audio net all over the goddamn country, instead of having to fax us or just sit back and absorb it and not feel like they're a part of the show, we get 8 billion calls. Because if I'd like to go through them like 1 million a day, then we might get like 10 good calls. But what we're stuck with is here. We're stuck with what's here. And believe me, open up the window and take a sniff. It ain't a pretty sight. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is Barry. I'm a homeboy calling.
All right.
I'm just started listening to you this year, man.
Your name is Barry?
Yeah, I'm a good friend of Ed Kaplan's.
I never knew that there was any brothers named Barry.
Well, sure enough.
I'll tell you one thing, it beats you for by a mile, but I didn't know there were any dark guys named Barry.
Oh, yeah, it sure is.
Thank God.
Good friend of Ed's. Anyway, this is my first time calling.
Does he give you any good tips?
No, I've been asking him for autographed pictures for the longest. You never won't give me one.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm just calling to let you know that there are some homeboys out there listening to you,
All right.
And I don't listen to that first team no more. They're just garbage, so I'm listening to nothing until you come on.
Excellent. Great taste, Barry.
And then when Hank come on, when he's eating and talking junk and acting stupid, I don't listen to him no more either. Only you.
All you need is 10 to 2 on QAM, Barry.
All right?
And give Ed a big kiss for us.
Hey, you see Ed, can you ask him to send Barry autograph picture? I'll keep asking.
I'll bug the crap out of him, okay?
I've been asking that for 15 years.
Okay.
All right, thanks a lot,
See you,
Neil.
Barry. Say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Ed Kaplan, 6 o'clock tonight. He's going to get out there early, baby. I'm not really sure why. I guess Bo Camper had to go to some big function. Maybe tape one of his 45 shows that he's doing. See, there's a good guy, though, Kimba Bo Camper. He's a good guy. Everybody likes Kimba. Everybody likes Mandich, except, of course, those people who are jealous of him because there's a talent. In fact, you know something? That would be a good... I don't want to get Little Dog any more upset than he already is because I know he loves this show. He listens every day. He reveres the ground that I do it on. But, Mandich and Joe Rose, is there any contest there?
No.
Is there any? They're both ex-Dolphins, both ex-Jocks. Is there any comparison in any way, shape, or form between Joe Rose and Jim Mad Dog Mandich? Huh?
No.
See, Mandich gets on the other night, and like I said yesterday, he's ripping the crap out of Greg Reed and the Beasleys for his checks being so damn late and all of this other stuff. Because he's not an ass-licker, Mandich. He tells it like it is. He's not talking about, well, Gregory won't like this and Gregory won't like that, and then go and start beating all over on that poor little program director. What did Igor want? He not only... What?
Business.
He not only won't speak to me, he doesn't even look at me. You know what I'm saying? Not that I'm complaining. I'm not complaining at all. But I must have done something to him. Now, who was telling me? Oh, it was Joe Costello. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. At dinner the other night. Oh, we learned a lot at dinner the other night, baby. Dinner and the aftermath of that dinner.
Uh-huh.
That was worth the price of admission. Wow. And one thing we learned, according to Joe Costello, was that, Igor was like bad-mouthing me when I first came over here. Oh, I've heard all these, I know all about him. He's a troublemaker. He's a piece of crap, yeah. Okay, Igor, I'll just stay out of your way, okay? I'll steer clear. You go your way, I'll go my way, so to speak. Here's a mobile in Davie. Hello.
Hey, Uncle Neil.
Yes, sir. Happy Wednesday to you, sir. That seems
Yes,
a lot
sir.
like
Thank
Thursday
you.
to me.
Yeah, West Davie Trailer Trash calling in.
All right.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you on your analyzation of the morning show, the worst team. When they start talking ladies golf, they got to get into
they
a
were
program
and they were talking about the WNBA the other day, too. Oh, my God. Is there any person in its right mind who thinks the WNBA is going to make it here?
No.
Give me a break.
I'm telling you, that program content.
Bullseye basketball.
And that big dog, the guy's got to have something to bring to the table, and it's either Dolphins or forget it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this. Who do you think would be better on that show, Joe Rose or Jim Mandich?
No contest, the Mad Dog.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask on your subject of smoking.
Yeah.
A shameless request
Yes,
for
sir.
the Smoke Ganja Smoke tune.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
You got it, man.
All right.
And smoke one for us, okay? You can kiss my rear end.
No.
Okay, 567-0560. I probably shouldn't have got into this. This is too delicate, especially on a day when he's got a fragile ego like today. I don't want to mess with other people's psyche. But, if you're going to pick on my good friend Duff Lindsay, who's a good guy. You can say anything you want about him. He's weak. He's this, which he is, but he's not a bad guy, you know? I'd much rather work for a guy like that who's like kind of low-key and mellow and doesn't give everybody a hard time and realizes his limitations and sits in his little high chair with his thumb in his mouth and making out his schedules. I'd rather, have that than some guy that ran around here like giving everybody a bunch of crap. And believe me, we've had more than our share of that. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Here's a lady in Westchester. Hello.
Good morning.
Yes,
Neil.
ma'am. Top of the morning to you.
Thank you. I love your show. Listen, I've been listening to you off and on all morning.
You know,
but
one thing about this show, even the people who hate it love it.
No, I've been listening to you since you came with Bill Calder and Big Wilts.
Those were the days.
Those were, oh, God, that was great. Well, anyway, I wanted to ask you some information. I watched the top 50 film stars last night.
Right. I have it in my hand right now in the list, too.
Well, wait, I saw everything except the last two who I almost could predict, and I fell asleep.
Now, act men or women?
One of each. Let me tell you, was it Katharine Hepburn and Humphrey Bogart?
Were the top two, yeah.
Oh, those...
Oh, that's right. They were showing them in reverse. Well, very good. You got it. There you go.
Oh,
I wish we had a prize to send you.
Well, no, I did it by process of elimination.
Now, do you agree with Humphrey Bogart?
Oh,
you think
no.
The only good movie I think he was ever in was Canine Mutiny, the only one that I saw. George's African Queen was okay. I thought Johnny Mathis was in that.
He is so overrated. I'm older than I sound.
Yeah.
He is so overrated.
But he smoked a mean pack of Camels.
Oh, God, but she got it, and I saw it up to the top two, and I fell asleep. But I figured she would get it.
But why did she get it too? That's another one highly overrated.
I know, but
because frankly, my dear, I don't give a crap about Katharine Hepburn. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you, what? I missed a few. I had to take a shower. What number was Lana Turner?
Lana Turner, did she make the list?
I don't know.
She didn't make the list. How do you like that?
Huh.
Oh, my God. Lana Turner. Well, maybe they're upset about that murder. You know, they're still holding a grudge against Lana Turner.
You know who I figured would get the top?
Yeah.
Because these were the ones who had to have been stars before the 50s, before 1950.
Yeah.
There's going to be another list. I figured John Wayne would be, he was, wait, I wrote it, I remember.
He was 13th,
He was 13 and
yeah.
At the time, he wasn't my favorite star. Mine was Clark Gable. He was 5,
Well,
right?
he was 5. He was 7. This is good. Oh, we can kill some good time with this.
Yeah. I always figured that he would have been the top.
And don't forget Patrick McGowan. He was number 6.
You're kidding.
No.
No, I saw it, Neil. He was.
I'm just pulling you away.
I know you are.
He was the prisoner of Zenda.
Well, who did you think should have been 1 and 2?
Number 1, I think William Holden.
Oh, he was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was up there pretty.
And Peter Finch certainly should have been on the list.
Yeah. What woman do you think should have been up top?
That's not easy. I don't know. Maybe Betty Davis.
Yeah, I think she
definitely not Katharine Hepburn. The only reason Katharine Hepburn got in there is because she was, doing Spencer Tracy. I mean, I just,
right.
forget her.
Yeah, I agree. Betty Davis.
Yeah.
But anyway,
she was a little bit too butch, I guess, for the people that picked
not
her.
Not Humphrey Bogart.
No, anybody but Humphrey. Okay, have a great day, sweetheart.
Okay, thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Okay, we'll dissect this. Anybody buying into Humphrey Bogart?
No.
Oh, talk about another hype job. I mean, he was 99% of the stuff he was in was always the same. He was always the same. He always had that same drunken, over-smoking. And by the way, is he doing pretty good right now?
No.
No, too many of those Camels, man. Too many faggots. A few faggots, okay, but too many faggots will kill you. Just keep that in mind, all right? 1 or 2, 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line, 1156 at QAM on a tremendous Wednesday when we're dissecting the morning show and finding out, is it the spots or is it the content or is it maybe one or more of those hosts? It's time to beef up the morning show on this station.
Oh!
Well, one of the guys is already working on it. He's beefing up. Oh, Hank, you look so beautiful. I want you now.
Premium beer. You've downed a Red Dog. You've chugged a Red Wolf. Now open your mouth and wrap your lips around a Red Cock. Red Cock's foamy head will leave you breathless. Red Cock goes down easy, and it's never hard on your throat. So reach into that box and wrap your fingers around a long neck Red Cock. You can shake it and spray it all over. Remember, you can't beat a Red Cock. Just look for the label with the big red pecker on the front.
1201 at 560 WQAM. You know, Hank, I'm sure would have had a great show yesterday, especially with those 25 people working out on the show, helping him out. But then that one guy that I told you called and was sucking around so heavy duty and it threw him way off his feed. And then then even Hank started sucking up to Ed Pope, and at that point the CD just went flying into my player. Sucking up to Eddie Pope. Did Ed Pope ever write anything did he ever say anything?
No.
He's been in this town since before Lincoln was a baby. Did he ever write anything?
No.
He stole that love letters to the sports editor from Joe Falls at the Detroit Free Press about 50 years ago, and that's his big claim to fame. He's just a phony wannabe who thinks that he's either in Baltimore or New York covering the Yankees and the Orioles, and I mean, give me a break. Did Ed Pope ever write anything that anybody can quote?
No.
That made any sense?
No.
That took any balls?
No.
Man, what is wrong with this place? Just so much suction. We ought to put up a big sign outside the door that says,
Já basta de chupar.
in all the different languages. My favorite one, by the way, is
Get the Hoover out the moon, man.
all of which means
Enough of the sucking.
right. Enough of the goddamn sucking already, okay? And it don't even feel good. Christ. 567-056. That's the sign that Hillary put up on the Oral Office door there in the White House. Enough of the sucking. Plantation, hello. Plantation. 17 minutes and 57 seconds in Plantation. Did they wait?
No.
No. You know, and you know something? That's probably that guy. The guy that called Hank that was sucking his ass yesterday, that wanted his body and his wife too, that was from Plantation. Do I get calls from Plantation?
No.
No. 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. Sir, I want to award you the worst. Even the guy that said a very young Gator team, at least that was amusing in some way, in some bizarre, sick, twisted way. Your call was the worst suck job in the history of the human race. Here's West Palm Beach. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay, sir.
I hope you don't mind, but I'm disguising my voice because I get a check from you guys every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yesterday when I was in, I think I caught the first part of that melee yesterday with Joe Rose.
The first part of it? In other words, I missed the first half?
I think so. So I had to hightail it out of there because my liability insurance doesn't insure me against flying receivers and microphones.
Okay, well, listen, thanks for the license plate. Sign, man. 56, or is that the I-man? Oh, I'm sorry, I-man. It was the I-man. 567-0560, and that's another suck job, too. You notice the way like the news guy, I don't know what his name is on Imus's show, the way he always sucks up to him all morning long. Oh, yeah, whatever you say, I-man, and you're right about that farm, I-man, and about those animals and your brother out there. He's an asshole. You're right about that, I-man. Oh. Just like Ed McMahon. There's a guy that made a living with suction, just like Larry King. Look at all the guys who who sucked their way to success. 567-0560, pound 560 on a mobile one line. Here's Margate. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Pretty good, sir.
The suction is incredible this morning.
It is.
Listen, question for you. On Saturday, my wife is finally taking me to with Chris.
Enough of the sucking.
Yeah.
I know this is a subject that you're a little sore on.
I'm a little, I don't know. I asked some people yesterday, am I right or am I wrong about that? And they all said I'm right.
Did they even call you yesterday?
What?
Did they even call you and apologize for?
Of course not.
No.
Apologize for what?
Well, you know, you take care of them all the time.
I gave them a 4-hour infomercial, and it was all straight from their heart here last week. I spent $500 plus, or whatever it was, over $500 there on Saturday night, another almost $200 there Monday night, and they don't even offer us a goddamn demi-tass?
That's incredible. Well, maybe I'll throw your name around. Maybe they'll give it to me.
Yeah, that's right. There you go. Just tell them that fat Neil sent me in.
Question, what the hell is
one name
good
not
there?
to mention
What's
is
the
ribeye.
best?
They'll charge you double. What is it?
What's the best thing?
Ribeye steak. I'll tell you.
I have the menu right in front of me as we speak.
The spinach au gratin, the barbecued shrimp, and I'll tell you, I'll tell you right now, my new favorite thing on that menu. And why am I giving them a free plug? God damn it! The best thing on the menu is the appetizer, the stuffed mushrooms with crab meat. That will set you free.
Okay, well,
you'll have tremors in your rectum. You have to eat a couple of those.
Hopefully, it'll set my wife free. Maybe after dinner, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
All right, Neil.
Good luck,
Listen, do me a favor. Can you play that my ass thing again? That was hilarious.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, what was I supposed to play before for that other guy that I forgot all about?
The ganja song.
Oh, the ganja. Yeah, I'll get to that. It's old and boring. Okay, what's it? And my anus? This guy wants my anus? No, I'm sorry. 567-0560, pound 560 on a mobile one line. Here's mobile in Opelika. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Neil.
Yes.
How you doing?
Okay.
Hey,
Man, I was waiting so long, man. I forgot what I was going to say.
14 minutes and 54 seconds.
Hey, wait. I wanted to give you a name for that list yesterday, but...
oh, yeah, well, yesterday's over with. Okay, call me again tomorrow. 567-0560, pound 5. I want to give you a name for that list yesterday. Well, yesterday came and went, and believe me, you could have got through yesterday because yesterday was one of our usually desperate days, as I'm sure today will turn into before 2 o'clock because it's Miami and the people are like very recalcitrant, like my old friend Rick the Mailman who hates me like poison. I'm not really sure why, but I don't care, you know? I say Rick the Mailman. That's what I say now. You don't want to look at me. That would be like if I walked into Publix, okay, and like one of you guys is in there, and I look and see you at the end of the row, and I just turn around and walk the other way. And you think, what the did I do to him? You know? I mean, I'm looking right at you, okay? I'm just about to wave. I mean, not that it's a big deal, but it goes back to that business about being pleasant. For example, my friend Sylvie at the Turnpike Toll Place. Do you ever go through there by the stadium? You don't go through there. She's Cuban, you know, and has painted fingernails and red hair, and she's a sweetheart. I love Sylvia. And on days when she's working, it's pleasant. Hey, Neil, how you doing? And I give her my 50 cents, and it's great. It's a little thing. Like I said before, little things mean a lot. Believe me, I know that better than anybody. Little things, about like that, they mean a lot. But people are just, and this town is just full of people who just, they won't look at you, they won't speak to you, they wouldn't give you the time of day. Well, you know what I say? Screw them. And as a matter of fact, yesterday I'm going home through the Turnpike Toll Plaza, and I see an arm sitting out there. I don't have change, so I'm not going through the exact change. I'm going through the change lane, and the arm is very dark. I thought, well, that's not Sylvia unless you got too much of a tan overnight. And this turned out to be a sweetheart, a very nice. She said, hey, you have a great day now. And again, I don't know her name. I don't know who she is. But she just went the extra like 2 inches, okay? Not 9 yards, 2 inches just to say something pleasant. So you drive away from there with a smile on your face. Like, hey, there was like a decent human being. Searching for decent human beings in this town is like looking for a goddamn needle in the middle of it's like looking for that black dildo in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, which is probably where it's floating around right now. It's probably bobbing out there. Somebody's bobbing up and down on it. I think she was in here this morning. 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. Maybe OJ's bobbing up and down on it, huh? Oh! I think it'll fit. Just about the right size for OJ's big fat
rectum.
Yeah. Just slip it right in there, OJ, on your way out of town. Don't take it personal unless you want to. It's just that we hate you like poison and don't want you to come back, regardless of what Willie Simmons says.
Holy cow! My anus! My anus! Oh! My anus! 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 Keep focusing. My anus! My anus! My anus! Hi, kids. Y'all like cutting little stinkers? That funny little sound that comes right out your sphincter? Want to copy me and do exactly like I do? Get paid for writing little songs about boo-boo? My brain's all gone. I'm trying to get my groove on, but I can't figure out which Spice Girl I'm going to fart on. And Dr. Dre asked, yo, man, did you pass gas? Hell no. Why do I smell ass? Ain't you low class? Well, since age 12, it seemed like I always smelled. I thought ripping gases and tooting was pretty swell. I got pissed off when I took my jeans off and farted so hard it turned my underwear backwards like crisscross. And every night I'm like, oh, dinner at last. Then fart out my ass faster than a fat bitch who ate too fast. Smell this, honey. Yo, dude, wait a minute. That's my girl, cuz. I don't give a fuck. God sent me to stink the world up. My anus. My anus. My anus. My anus. My anus. My anus. My English teacher wanted me kicked out back in junior high. Said the problem was something crawled up my ass and died. I shot him in the face with my vapor. The worst happened later when I covered his desk with used toilet paper. Walked in the strip club, my intestines were filled up. Mooned the bartender, took a dump in a tip cup. Went over to a dancer, had her buck in her garter. She lifted her leg up, and I knew she was a farter. 99% of my life I was lied to. I just found out my mom's got more gas than I do. I told her I'd grow up to be a famous rapper, make a record about strange noises made on the crapper. You know you was dirt when the women rushed to leave. You tried to hold it back, but your butt needed relief. This guy at White Castle said it was pretty cool, but I had to go drop the kids off at the pool. My anus, my anus,
12:15 at 560 WQAM, your intellectual station for the 90s. Well, we don't mess around with a lot of stupid-ass crap. So anyway, the nephew, Greg Reed's nephew, Chris, just comes in. And I just had gotten through saying something good about him the other day, like he's not as much of an asshole as Sam or something like that. And he comes in here while that's playing, and he says to me, is Stan Major still on the air somewhere? I said, yeah, some like 5-watt stations around there. Oh, I've been looking all over. I can't find him. And this is somebody, by the way, under the age of 100. You know, like this lady in Publix last night, this very nice but very elderly lady. I mean, she was old, okay? And what does she listen to? Mr. Ego. She says, oh, yes, Steve, and that young man that works with him, they always speak very kindly of you. Well, evidently she ain't been listening lately because I got those spy reports as if I really care. But she's the one that's listening. Her and about 5 other old people. But Stan Major?
I've got sunshine on WINZ. When there's a hurricane blowing, baby, it's still the month of May.
Boy!
From 2 to 6, I guess you'll say, what can make me feel that way? Stan Major.
Boy!
Talking about Stan Major.
You turd.
Major.
Okay, that's enough of that. I think would be a great show for people who are like suicidal, right on the edge, to push them over the edge. The Boca Brian Stan Major show. Wow. You talk about, Boca at least has got some talent, but at any rate, talk about depressing people. Oh, I got a better one. The Boca Brian Stan Major and Bob Lassiter show. Oh! How's that sound? Uh-huh. Yeah. You'll blow your brains out before the theme song finishes playing. Of course, some shows on this station, we listen to the entire theme play all the way out because we're listening for the dead air. 567-0560, pound 560 on the, you know what I'm talking about, on the mobile one line. No, seriously, I'm going to tell you, if I had 45 people working on my show, this show would be so spectacular every single day. Am I right? This would be a barn burner every day. As it is, it's not doing too bad, but Jesus Christ, if we had 73 people running around here, sucking our toes and everything, oh, man. This show would be kicking big, gigantic, bloody ass all over town, all over the world. We'd have a half a point. We'd be number one half, not just number one. Whatever is above number one, we'd be it. But we don't have like a staff of 245 people. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Uncle Neil, how you doing?
Great.
Good. You know what? I wanted to echo your sentiments. That was
right
a
ahead.
fantastic hockey game last night.
Yes, it was.
Absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely correct, sir.
With the hitting that was going on in that game last night,
yeah.
You'd have to combine a whole weekend of NFL games to get the kind of hitting that was going on in that game last night.
That's right. I'd say maybe the whole NFL season.
Well, I don't know about that one. That may be stretching.
I'm talking about real hits. I'm not talking about a big bunch of 350-pound porkers, like, standing there playing grab-ass with each other, like with their elbows in each other's face. That's not hitting, okay?
Well, no, I like it when the
once
wide
in a great
receiver
while in a football game, you'll see a guy running downfield and maybe like a defensive back. You just belt him out, and make a great hit. Like maybe Jeff Foxworthy or whatever his name is, Jeff Popowich from U of M.
You're right about that one. But, as far as that thing they call a morning show,
yeah,
you couldn't pay me to listen to.
Well, okay, what's the biggest problem with that show in your estimation? What is it that turns you off in it?
You say it every day, the worst team.
Yeah.
That's it. Aside from the spots, that whole, everything except for your show is nothing but spots, without question. We've already identified.
Unless we had it in blood, and even then they changed it, but unless we had it engraved in blood, they'd be running 55 minutes an hour on this show.
You say it every day. It exists in this market because this isn't really a market.
That's right. It's fantastic. It's make-believe.
And the quality of people that listen, I turn it on. I can stand Hank for the first 15 minutes. After, of course, the sports update, the 10 minutes of spots.
Yeah.
And, then the rest of
if I wanted to pick on the goddamn program director, which is a legitimate point, as long as we got to put up with all these spots, which we don't have a choice, what do we have this repetitious, long, ponderous sports updates in there, which is a tune-out?
Hang on. You're talking about your employee of the month, though.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I take it back. No, seriously, he has control over that. What do we have these, especially on days when there's virtually nothing going on, and we got that awful music. Do we have that music? Is it in the thing there, that update music? Oh, my, it goes on, and you're saying, okay, all right. I mean, I love Ken Malden. He's a great guy, but enough with that stuff already, Ken, and whoever else is doing it, enough.
Yeah, four updates with the same updates, especially when there's nothing to talk about. And
Jesus, at least take advantage of the few minutes that we've got that aren't commercial time and give these guys a chance to see if they might have any material, which some of them might doubt, but nevertheless.
Yeah, it's really bad. It's too bad you couldn't get on a real radio station, but then again, in this market, what do you consider a real radio station?
Exactly, and the checks are clearing pretty good. Okay, thanks a lot, pal.
Take care.
I'll give Joe your regards. 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. And sometimes the update goes so long that the music ends and they have to start it all over again. And yeah, oh God! On and on and on. And Joe Torre picked his nose this morning, and two of them were like a round, and one was square, and one was yellow, and one was deep inside his
rectum.
And oh my, and Daryl Strawberry got busted again, and on it goes. And that horse, the one that had the bad leg, he ain't feeling too good this week, but he's okay. And the Marlins, nobody cares. It was too late anyway, and it wasn't in the paper, so we don't have the score. And that's kill it. Kill it. Thank you. Oh. And like I've told you this many times before, this is my own humble opinion. It's a miracle that this station gets the numbers that it does. It's a miracle of modern science. And it goes to show you during those 20 hours when they're hawking the sports stuff that those sports nerds, they must really have no lives. They must be desperate. Because they are there like stuck by LePage's glue to their radios. To all the crap about ladies golf and the WNBA and stuff that even sports neurotics who are like locked away in mental institutions, even they wouldn't talk about. And they're still out there, so what are they all complaining about, okay? 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. But those updates. Here's a mobile in Orlando. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
It's blowing up all the way to Orlando, baby. I've been listening to you for the last couple hours with my fiance. And, you're hitting it right on the head with the worst team. Just a bunch of no-talent mofos.
Yeah.
Terrible.
They give you a mofo your money, is that what you say?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
By the way, call up Marvin and see if he knows what that means, George.
Marvin?
That was a little inside joke, yeah.
Okay. I was listening to a little bit of our friend in the late night, the gambling babysitter.
Eddie DeKay?
Eddie K. He seems like a nice guy.
He is a nice guy.
It seems like he's a smart, intelligent person.
Awful show, but a great guy.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, the kind of people that he must have to babysit.
It's the GA show.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's sad.
The QAM GA show starring... Yeah.
I was reading an article about this guy, Stewie Unger.
Don't throw that out, George. The guy wants a picture. Yes, sir?
He won the World Series of Poker a couple of years ago.
Right.
After fighting back from just being on the balls of his rectum. And he...
I heard he knows the overs and unders, yeah.
Yeah, then he... the guy, it's just unbelievable when you listen to it. And then I hear this caller.
Go ahead, Jeff. Make all the noise you want. We don't want the audience to know that we got the fan working good and Jeff Cohen is here with lunch from Pizza Loft. Go ahead, sir.
So I hear this caller call Eddie K, and he's like, Eddie, I don't know how this happened. I thought he could never. I thought he couldn't lose. He couldn't lose.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking about you, baby. I mean, these guys are unbelievable.
I know.
And then finally, I just want to say, I felt like Comenza there. I was on hold so long, but thanks anyway.
Okay, and have a great day, pal.
Okay.
And don't think about me quite so hard. Here's Jeff Cohen, of course, who's thinking about very hard. Oh, and you know something? You got to bring us, because you're the guy that can replace that one that Roy Foster stole out of here the other day.
Roy!
We never got it back. What's that? See, if we had real management in this place, somebody would have gotten us our big black dildo back that Roy Foster came in here and took out here. Oh, I got to have that. I got to have that. Maybe he and OJ are having a little party. 567-0560, pound 560 on a mobile one line. So what do we got today? Just all kinds of great fresh stuff. We got sausage, meatball, little mushroom in there, cheese, a little bit of sauce. Lee Cutler lost 20 pounds on the Atkins diet.
Oh!
Everybody and their brother-in-law is doing a great job. Duff Lindsay lost, what did he say, 10, whatever he lost on the Atkins diet. Fat Hank looks so lovely that some of his butt suckers out there in Radio Land want his body. I mean, what more could you want? And I'm fat. 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. How come nobody responded to me nobody gave me any advice on my feelings about Ruth Chris? We had one guy who managed to squeeze out for them another free plug on the show today, but nobody, because I don't want to sound like a cheapskate or a guy that's running around looking for free meals, because believe me, if I want to eat free all the time, I could have been doing it every day for the last 20 years and eating good stuff for free. But I don't like being a freeloader. But I do think that when I patronize you to that extent, I mean, okay, you own a restaurant. If I came in, I realize it's a different kind of restaurant, but if I came in and spent a gigantic amount of money on a Saturday night and brought a couple more people in on Monday night and spent a lot of money, wouldn't you offer me like a free something? Yeah, like the sodas or your free beer appetizer, yeah. I mean, doesn't that make sense? Come over and thank me personally for my patronage, and it's great seeing you again, and we love you like crazy, and a free 4-hour infomercial you gave us on the air last week, instead of just looking at me going, yeah, thanks very much, Mr. Behelfer. Yeah, the guy takes my credit, and not like they had no idea who I was, and I know they knew who I was because the maitre d' who seated me knew who I was, and the broad up front, the blonde lady, she knows me. When I came in the door, hi, Mr. Rodgers, how are you tonight? So maybe they're taking a page out of the Bern Laxer songbook from Bern Steakhouse over there. Now, let me ask you, does the management have to be there to offer me a free cup of coffee? In places like that sometimes. They do? Yeah, big corporate places. The management has to be there to offer you a free cup of coffee, a free demi-tasse, a free cappuccino? Not at the pizza loft. Okay, so maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe it wasn't their fault. I don't know. 567-0560, pound 560 on a mobile one line.
Can't beat that gator meat.
It's a special day here at Disney World when the screening days meet the rest of the girls in the closet no more. That's what gay day is for. It's a gay day after all.
All right.
It's a day of fun when we wear red shirts, and when we all come, you can hear the squirts. We can tickle and tease with our manicured goatees. It's a gay day after all. We'll be holding hands in Adventureland and watch the Liza Minnelli marching band. We'll make tourists shriek with a kiss on the cheek. It's a gay day after all. We can wear tight shorts made of gold lame and wear mascara like Billy Zane. We can mince away as we prance and sashay. It's a gay day after all. MGM will have a celebrity ball hosted by Rip Taylor and RuPaul. There'll be Mervyn Monty Rock, not to mention Pete Lecoq. It's a gay day after all. 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 It's a gay day after all.
Okay, I'm filing a lawsuit.
Sure. Oh, you noticed. Turkey leg.
12:33 at 560 WQAM. Oh, my God, we got a Cuban Ron Jeremy. 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. Wow, finding out some real interesting things. So maybe I judge prematurely. Maybe on Monday, Jeff is telling me, since he knows the restaurant business, that there aren't the appropriate management types on staff who could have authorized even like a free anything besides a glass of water. Is that what you're saying? Wait a minute, where's the, pull that thing down.
It's a possibility.
Yeah.
I don't know their
Well, why are you
company.
making excuses for them?
I'm not making excuses. Just, when you go to big corporate restaurants, they control everything. I mean, everything's computerized and all that. And if there wasn't a manager that had enough authority to sign something off, nobody took it on themselves. Who knows? Either that or they screwed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, what could I tell you?
Now, what's this place that you're telling me is so great with steak?
Bistro Mezzaluna on 17th Street Causeway.
Mm-hmm.
From outside, it looks like nothing. It's in a strip center with like a drugstore.
Isn't that where OJ and
Roy
hang out?
I think it's the same name, different company.
Yeah.
But they use prime meats. It's always consistently good. Their fish is awesome.
They're good steaks, though. Huh?
Yep.
Yeah. Have you eaten at Ruth's Chris?
I had a bad experience right there a few years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's hear about it.
It was also a weeknight, like a Monday when it was slow.
Yeah. It was not slow on Monday.
Okay, well,
it was
when
packed.
they must
packed
not
with
have
people, by the way, that I put in here after raving about what a great place it is.
They probably didn't have their first string guy on the grill, but I ordered one of those giant porterhouses for two. I don't even know if they still do that.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I ordered it for myself because I'm a big steak eater,
mm-hmm.
and I ordered it medium rare, and it came out with like almost no pink in it at all, let alone medium rare. So I sent it back nicely, and the next one came out raw.
So they were trying to give you a message?
Well, so I, said,
like, is this raw enough for you?
It's just, that could happen. Things happen. There's times that they're
Crap
pizza
happens.
loft when you burn a pizza, or there's nothing you could do about it. Mistakes happen.
But
you
wouldn't bring it
apologize
out
and move
burnt.
on.
You wouldn't bring it out burned.
It's not supposed to be brought out burnt, but you can't look at everything yourself. I mean, once in a while, someone might take something out that shouldn't. 99% of the time, things go out perfect the way they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
But, the restaurant business isn't an exact science, except at the pizza loft where everything is perfect all the time.
So, in other words, if I bring my close personal friend Sean over there, who's home on break from Northwestern, over there next Monday or Tuesday, which I told him, you're not going to give him a burnt pizza, are you?
Of course not.
Because he's Jewish.
Right. No, he'll leave very
and
happy.
he's on the dean's list, and he's bright enough to know the difference between the good stuff that you usually serve and something that's a burned-up piece of crap, Jeff.
No, all our stuff is good.
Okay, so tell us about the 21-year-old chick you had on the plane.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, that's right. I got you confused with somebody else.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I went to see Rod Stewart in Atlanta. Is
that what it was?
I took a date to that.
Oh.
But,
a 41-year-old young lady.
We went to
How old was she?
Legal.
21.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
but what's wrong? Why do you say that so? I don't understand. What's the big deal with that?
Well, I don't know. Just, I've been out of the swing of things for so long. Everything seems kind of weird after so many years to be single.
I feel so much more relieved knowing now that he's as hairy as I feel so much better about
Not
it.
me. No, not me talking about
No, not you. I'm talking about JP. He's a walking carpet, they just said, a Cuban carpet.
Right.
I feel like this tremendous sense of relief just came over me.
But this is an unbelievable coincidence at this concert. We had fourth row seats.
Yeah. How about Rod Stewart? He was pretty hairy out there.
He was unbelievable.
Do you think he's
sexy?
Is he sexy?
No. But he puts on a great show. He's
was
full
he
of
ever
energy.
Sexy?
No. But he puts on a great show.
Could he ever sing?
No. Great songs, and he could sing.
Yeah.
So anyway, part of his show is
how would you know? Because when you see these concerts, you're usually so preoccupied.
I had a few drinks, but you know that's how you loosen up.
Mm-hmm.
So part of his show
good,
is kicking soccer balls into the audience.
Right.
He'll kick about a dozen balls during the course of his concert because he's a big soccer guy. He owns part of a soccer team. So I caught a soccer ball in the beginning of the concert, which was pretty cool. But, of course, being a gentleman, I was going to give it to my date, even though I went all the way to Atlanta to see him and I was dying to keep it. But so I told her she could have it. A couple of songs later, they let some girls go up on the stage. So she went up and danced at the band, and like 6, 8, 10 girls are up there dancing to some song. He gives her a kiss on the cheek along with the other girls. They all leave. Another song.
I heard that Ricky Martin likes to lick 6 or 8 dozen balls at his concerts, too, is what I heard. Usually afterward. Yeah, go ahead.
Comes back. A couple of songs later, she's standing on the chair dancing. He points at her with 2 hands like a gun shape, thumb up in the air, kicks a soccer ball 30 feet through the air directly to her. She catches it without bobbling it. So we each get to keep a soccer ball, which is pretty cool. And the people around us were going nuts because out of 20,000 people at the place, for 2 people next to each other to end up with 2 soccer balls was an unreal coincidence. So I went and bought a lottery ticket immediately, which didn't do any good.
Oh.
But I do have an autographed Rod Stewart soccer ball, which is pretty exciting.
Great. Okay, well, I'm glad you had a good time with that 21-year-old young lady. You want to tell us about the plane trip?
No.
Okay. Okay, there he is, Jeff Cohen from the Pizza Loft. Great food and real perversion, baby. That's what it's all about. Not a bad combination. It all depends on what you're in the mood to put in your mouth, I guess. 21 before 1 at 560 WQAM.
Gordon gives South Florida a major blowjob.
All right.
Way down in Jamaica in the Caribbean, they got the best herb that you ever seen. Ask anybody in that neighborhood, they tell you this the country where the ganja be good. Rastaman has some he want to sell, and from a mile away you can detect the smell of smoke. Smoke, ganja smoke, smoke. He light up the spliff and toke. Smoke, ganja smoke, smoke.
Okay.
Smoke, ganja smoke, smoke. The ganja be good. You can carry lots of herb in the gunny sack. Smoke it every day until your lungs turn black. With all the money that we have made, Jamaica doesn't need any foreign aid. American tourists come here and say, got nothing like this in the USA. They smoke Smoke, ganja, smoke, smoke. They light up the spliff and toke. They begin to puff and choke. Smoke, ganja, smoke, smoke. The ganja be good. Mama tell her son you are a Rasta man. You like to smoke the giant spliff whenever you can. Many people coming here from miles around to buy the herb from you by the ounce and the pound. Rasta man say to her, Mama, you right. The ganja be good tonight. And then they smoke. Smoke, ganja, smoke, smoke. They light up the spliff and choke.
Yes.
Smoke, ganja, smoke, smoke. Smoke, ganja, smoke, smoke.
Oh!
The ganja be good.
All right.
Yeah, man.
145 at 560 WQAM. No, nobody wants to see John Mellencamp, okay? Just calm down. Everybody that's in concert is just another excuse for you to go out and get stoned out of your mind and get laid, to which we all say, oh! Let's do this guy in one before he passes out. Here's a guy that had a heart attack on the Atkins. Hello?
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hi. Yeah, I was on the Atkins diet for about 8 weeks, had lost about 30 pounds.
Yeah.
On the Atkins, doing it according to the book. I had the hard cover and the soft cover. Turned around, and one night I had just finished dinner. I'd had a steak with a baked potato and butter on it, and a glass of water for dinner.
Wait a minute. Baked potato?
Yes.
Baked potatoes aren't on the Atkins diet.
It's on the Atkins diet, yes.
No, it is not.
I'm sorry, not baked potato. But I had something else besides, something else that was allowable, not the potato. I'm
it
sorry.
Sure wasn't
right.
a baked potato. I'll guarantee that's pure starch. It turns to sugar.
No,
when
it
you start
was.
mixing carbohydrates with all that protein and fat, that's when you're going to go,
Boy! I'm dying. I was
like that.
But anyway, I had dinner about 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a baked potato. I had something else.
Yeah, I hope.
With the steak.
Uh-huh.
I can't recall what it was, but
Okay.
it was approved on the Atkins diet.
Okay.
And left there and felt like after I had dinner, it just felt like something was in my craw, like stuck in my chest.
Yeah.
And I had a massive heart attack and died at Commercial and A1A. They revived me and they did a 5-way bypass at Broward General.
Uh-huh.
And the doctor said it came because of the fact that I was lacking some kind of fibers that came from, or fibers that came from bread or something, and the fact that I had too much meat and it created too much fat around my heart.
Huh.
But that's what they told me.
How
so
come we have all these other people that are eating all that meat and not...
I don't know what to tell you.
it might have just been you.
It might have just been
Or
me.
might have
I mean,
been that
not everybody can do everything the same way.
That's right.
And, it might have just been the reaction that I had to. But I was on it for 6 weeks, 7 weeks, and it was great. I lost, like I said, about 30 pounds.
Or you know something? You may have been going to have that anyway.
May have. I don't know. I'm the same age you are, so you can't tell.
Uh-oh.
The only difference was when you had your stroke, I had my heart attack.
Oh, brother. Well, we both pulled it out okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank
Talk
God for
later,
that.
Neil.
Take care of yourself,
Bye-bye.
pal. Okay. There's a guy in early. See, I don't want to cover up for anything. If people got sick or nearly died on the Atkins, let's hear about it. Unlike that horrible piece on CBS Evening News last Friday, where they promised to give us the big rundown and blow down and an expose, and they told us nothing. Didn't say a goddamn thing. Did you, Dan?
No.
Nothing. No, I mean, what's the big deal with that? They're going to have the big expose on a very controversial diet, and they come on and have Dr. Bob going, blah, 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 and then they got a cardiologist going, blah, blah, and then that's it. You know how television works. You're on for like 15 seconds, and now let's move on to the next piece of crap. We're not going to tell you anything, God forbid. You have to tune in Sunday morning, watch all the infomercials, and buy all those pills that are going to make you lose the weight. Or maybe talk to the Juicy Man and get another one of those goddamn juicers so you can put pure sugar into your system. Yeah, start drinking a lot of that fruit juice. That'll do it. You'll be going by the end of the day. 567, especially if you're diabetic. 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. So what's the name of the place you said? The Mezzaluna? Bistro Mezzaluna. On the 17th Street Causeway in Fort Lauderdale. We may have to go there, you know it? The Bistro Mezzaluna. Oh, look at you. Oh, boy, George's head just pulled up from his free lunch, from his food, like somebody who had it on a string. Man. Like a goddamn jack-in-the-box. Oh, sorry I said that. Here's Kendall. Hello.
Oh, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how you doing?
Great.
I got 2 things for you.
Mandich or Joe Rose, sir, on the morning show?
Mandich by far.
Okay.
Are you kidding me?
That big fat head.
Right.
With that big fat head of Joe Roses, get that son of a bitch out of there.
Okay.
I got two things for you.
He was sent home this morning, but he wouldn't leave.
Oh, is that right?
School teacher told him, get out of here, go home, and he wouldn't leave. Big brawl.
I tried to call a couple of days ago when you were doing that list of influential people of the 20th century,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think anybody mentioned this, but I think the guy, for better or for worse, he's most single-handedly responsible for the way kids are raised in America, and that's Dr. Spock.
Yeah, somebody did mention that, and I said
really?
he should be right next to Hitler, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing I really called about was that game last night. I got to tell you that this Stanley Cup Final is shaping up to be,
Thank God, we finally got a final. That's fantastic, and the coverage here blows.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's one for the ages. I mean,
The
every
coverage
game,
in the papers blows. The coverage on his station absolutely is an embarrassment.
yeah, I think it's ironic that the only non-sports show on an all-sports station is the only one talking hockey.
That's right. The only one with the highlights, the only one that knows what's going on, the only one talking about how great Hasek and Belfort both were last night,
Absolutely.
and how scintillating that game was.
That's right. I mean, this whole final is shaping up to be one for the ages because I mean every game is better than the one before.
And you notice how Buffalo finally forced Dallas into playing they opened up the game,
That's
and
right.
the last two-thirds, the last almost two periods were just unbelievable.
Well, I nearly had a heart attack in the third last night because Buffalo was playing on their heels a little bit, and I
No,
thought,
it might have been that baked potato, though.
yeah. But I thought the Stars were going to tie it up for sure. But how'd you like that play by Craig Ludwig to put the game winner?
I loved it. Nice going there, Craig. And Craig has turned 87 years old today. Let's hear it for old Craig Ludwig, who scored his first goal in 100 years for Dallas the other night, and now gives it right back. He doesn't want to get carried away.
But you were probably watching the CBC feed, but
Yes, I was.
I was watching ESPN.
I was watching the CBC feed where after the game they interviewed Jeff Sanderson with his pants falling down and his jockstrap hanging out. Yeah,
I heard that. But
That
I was
Igor
watching ESPN, and right after that goal, they showed a shot of Ken Hitchcock just blurting out the F word in frustration.
Really?
And, oh yeah, and I was loving it. I nearly had an accident in my pants because I can't stand the Stars.
Well, I can't wait till tomorrow night, man.
But I haven't seen a series this good since '94. The Rangers and the Canucks.
Right, that was great. That was our last good series.
Absolutely,
right.
absolutely. But yeah, that's all I have.
There's Igor is looking at me now.
Yeah, I just want to give you my 2 cents on that. And,
that's you, Igor. Okay, have a great day, pal.
All right.
Okay. He's acknowledged my existence. That's good. I must be doing something right, or maybe that's because the food's here now. 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. We share with everybody in the building, except, of course, certain salespeople that we won't mention on the air. Okay. We got a picture of him right here. I'm going to start sticking like voodoo pin dolls. I'm going to get a Todd Dreck blow-up doll. In fact, if we could ever get that big black instrument back from our good friend,
Roy!
Maybe we could stick that in a blow-up doll, huh? Only Todd might like it. Do you know Todd Dreck? Well, what do you mean? Oh, let's hear about this. Let's get this back on. Let's. No, I want to hear about this. Come on, pull that thing down in the mic too, okay? You're used to pulling it.
No, I've bought things from. He's been a salesman in this area forever, different companies.
Yeah.
He's takes things seriously. That's what I mean by that.
Good.
So
good.
Sure
That's the idea. There is no kidding around in this situation.
Okay. Well,
His performance in here yesterday, in fact, 2 days in the last week, has been so unctuous, as they say, that there's no turning back. Remember Cornelius Brothers and Sister Rose, it's too late to turn back now? It's too late to turn back now, Todd.
Okay.
Not a
like
joke.
I said, I'm sure he's not
it's
happy.
100%. What?
I'm sure he's not happy. Hello, Todd. How you doing?
Now, are you saying that this is like a friend of yours?
No.
A buddy of yours?
No, an acquaintance, a business
Because
person.
my opinion of the lunch, which I was enjoying so tremendously today, and I just said to you,
He's
man, it's
always-
great today. I think I just bit into a bad piece of meatball here, you know what?
Todd, you
I
suck.
just got to
You
I just got
suck.
to that part of the meatball that's kind of like
You gotta
a
learn how to do your job.
and
No.
tastes like a couple of months old.
No, I know him from business.
Yeah.
Like I said, he sold for half a dozen different
For
companies
whom?
in the market.
For whom?
Wasn't he at Channel 4 for a while?
I have no idea. I don't know where.
And he
it
was
came
with some
from.
other radio
All I know is
stations?
he worked for a Clear Channel, and they sent us they sent us flowers and a thank you letter when we hired him over here. It said, "Good luck. You'll need it."
The lunch is good, right?
They said, "If you like Fat Boy, you'll love Todd." And we do love Fat Boy by comparison. The lunch is great.
Todd, sorry.
Yeah, you lose, Todd. You're out. That's it? I thought he had something good about him. I thought maybe he had the goods on it. Oh, there's Jason, who can sniff out either cigar smoke or a free lunch, one or the other. Well, I thought all that weed affected your sense of smell, but I guess not. 567-0560, pound 560 on a mobile. Or maybe that's what he smelled. I forgot to mention Jeff brought some of that in, too. Well, it makes you eat a lot more food at the Pizza Loft. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, man.
Here's Hollywood. Hello. Hollywood. Okay, nice stuff. 33 minutes and 42 seconds, and when the big moment came, when that big, gigantic moment came,
Squirt.
they pulled it out. How do you like that? They backed right off of there and hung up. Pussy. A pussy in Hollywood. 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. See, we're starting to, like, it's almost 1 o'clock now. I killed the first hour and a quarter myself beautifully. Nice job, Neil. Thank you.
Ew, good.
And then I gave these people all kinds of food for thought, and that's it. It's a dead place. Here's a lady in Miami Lakes. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, ma'am.
I was on the Atkins. I lost about 50 pounds.
Are you dead yet?
No. But I did have a heart attack, but that was before the Atkins.
Oh, before the Atkins. Yeah.
But then after I lost 50 pounds,
Yeah.
it took about 2 years, and my doctor took me off the Atkins because I had high cholesterol and put me on fruit and veggies.
I'm going to tell you right now, the best diet I was ever on in my life, I lost about 100 pounds in 1974 and 75.
Atkins?
No, it really wasn't the Atkins. It was the Stillman. Remember Dr. Stillman?
Yeah. What is
The difference between the Stillman diet and the Atkins was the Stillman diet was a lot of protein and virtually no carbohydrates, but it wasn't high-fat protein. You know what I'm saying? You had to have like turkey breast and chicken roll and fish and real lean. And the meat you ate had to be real lean.
That's what I'm on.
And none of this like salad dressings and mayonnaise and butter and fats
That's what
that
I'm
Atkins
on.
puts on there. And I'm going to tell you, it worked great for me. I felt great. I lost 100 pounds.
I haven't gained back to 50 pounds since.
I'm going back on the Stillman, even though he's dead. I'm going back on the Stillman. Well, I used to call it the water diet because you had to drink at least 8 glasses a day.
I
And now,
do.
of course, all the diets you have to drink at least 8 glasses a day.
I do about 10 to 12, 8
Right.
ounces a day.
Right.
It fills you up.
Yeah.
But your sugar fix, I still get it every once in a while. And I have to get off of it. I still go back to those cheesecakes to get off of the sugar
I think
fix.
that pint of Ben & Jerry's frozen yogurt that I had yesterday might have set me back a little bit.
Yeah, once you taste it, you want some more.
Yeah, and it wasn't really all that good either.
Once
They got a
you put
couple of new flavors, and I'll be honest with you, not.
I still like the fish food.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, sweetheart, keep it up.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, we're hearing from people who went on the Atkins and died from it. Anybody else out there, give us a call. Let's hear about it. 567-0560, pound 560 on a mobile one line. Anybody else remember the Stillman diet?
No.
Of course not. Don't you remember it? No. Dr. Irving, or whatever his name was, Jewish, Maxwell Stillman. And he was always on like Jack Parr, whoever else was on TV. He was on all the talk shows, and he was like a real character. But it was a good diet. And at the time, I remember the two big, that was back in the 70s, the big diets were Atkins and the Stillman. There was like a lot of competition between them. And the one that took most of the heat back then was Atkins because of all the fat, you know. This was high protein, but not all that fat. And certainly no baked potatoes, sir. Don't do it again. 12:57 at 560 WQAM. Are you?
It's not just the 1 to 2 hour. It's a phenomenon.
Yeah. What the hell is that? Oh, I see. 1 o'clock, 101 at 560 QM. Well, I screwed up, okay? Am I entitled to screw up once in a while?
Uh-huh.
Thank you. Because I got all this, you know, we're busy with stories. Jeff Cohen is in here giving me all these stories about getting laid and doing a plane and doing a plane and on a plane. And is that more important than the show or what?
Uh-huh.
Bet your sweet ass, because we don't care. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Anybody remember that Stillman diet? No. Nobody wants to talk about diets. Y'all done talking about that morning show? And almost nobody voluntarily, without my asking, responded to my thing about Joe Rose or Jim Mandich. I think that was a very important program in question, and I'm sure that our program director is taking notes on that right now as we speak. Here's a Pompano, with no E, by the way. Pompano.
Pompano, what's going on with you, Neil?
But how's it hanging?
Well, first of all, when I was driving around earlier and you had the dark-skinned person call up and said his name was Barry, and you said there were nobody named Barry.
Besides Barry Sanders.
Barry Bonds.
And Barry Bonds.
Barry Larkin.
And Barry Livingston.
And how about Daryl Strawberry?
Right.
All right, then.
And how about Barry Berry?
Or Halle Berry.
Right.
She was married to Dave Justice.
Right.
Regarding Bistro Mezzaluna, excellent. If you were looking for another couple of steak places, Tropical Acres. Did I say something
My
wrong?
teeth are fixed in my mouth. I don't put them in a glass. Oh, look at who brought his thing back.
Roy.
Roy brought our thing back, I'll bet.
Roy.
He better have brought our thing back. Did you bring it back?
Hey.
All right, Roy brought our penis back. And that, wait a minute, let me see that a minute. That it hasn't been used. Look at that thing. Jesus, look at the head on that thing. Man, oh man, this thing is worn to a frazzle. Glad you had a good time, Roy. How'd OJ like it? I beg your pardon? It smells like OJ. Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
No, well, I'm surprised at the reaction you said for Tropical Acres. I mean, the food's great.
Oh, did you say Tropical Acres again? Oh, no, in the middle of my lunch you said that. I can't believe it. Well, I actually have food in my puss.
Sorry, doctor.
Don't do that.
Fine. No, I mean, I went there not too long ago.
Don't say the name of it again.
Okay, I won't.
I get the Green Apple Quick Step just hearing the name of it.
I won't.
That's why they keep having the Christmas parties here.
All right, fine. I'll skip over it. No problem.
Because I think Skipper Chuck gives them a discount.
No problem.
Any restaurant where you got to put your teeth in the glass when you sit down at the table, that ain't for me yet.
No,
Maybe in 20 years, not yet.
I didn't see that when I was there, but that's...
Oh.
Okay,
wow.
Fine. I got you loud and clear. I just got white. I met Kimbo once. You were talking about Kimbo and Mandich. Kimbo was an excellent guy. I met him Memorial Day weekend. Excellent guy. I'd love to hear him and Mandich do a morning show, but they got their own businesses, so what the heck? They're not going to give that up and change their lives.
I don't know. I think for the right bucks, I think they could pull that off. Put Mad Dog there in the morning, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, man, kick some ass.
What a difference in tight ends between Joe Ross and Jim Mandich.
There you go.
Well, one final thing. I got to take one bone of contention with you.
Go right ahead.
You've been talking, and I agree with you 95%, 99% about guns.
Yeah.
And yet you were talking about the sales staff overselling different things. They put a gun show spot right in the middle of your show every hour. Are you aware of that?
Now?
Yes. You just played one 3 minutes ago.
We have gun show spots back? Oh, yeah, here's the Suncoast Gun Show. Well, yeah, but I have no control over that.
Okay, well, I thought that you had enough
core sir, I
advertisers.
got news for you. The only control I have is over the endorsements that I do, live commercials, anything recorded they want to put on any show, they can put whatever crap they want to put in there.
Okay. Hey, whatever, just point it out to you then.
I know they're there. I didn't realize we had new ones because I'm too busy eating, you know.
Okay. Well, you have fun with Jeff. Bye-bye.
And have a great day. Well, you have fun with Jeff. 5-6, definitely not my type. Good guy, though. Great food. Good lunch today, Ponytail.
Oh!
Nice job. And he turned us on to a great restaurant called Bistro Mezzaluna on 17th Street Causeway in Fort Lauderdale. We'll all go there, and Joe Costello's going to buy next time. What? What is that all about? That's the least you can do after pissing off his girlfriend and acting like some kind of a jerk. Huh? No, seriously. I mean, she was very nice. She behaved very well. She was very friendly, and everybody else seemed to get along. But you had to act like some kind of little Guido, like a hard ass, and got her very offended. And now, of course, you're sticking your nose in between, those two, which isn't a bad idea. 567-0560 and pound 560 in spite of the hair. Pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. I've got this thing. It's an amazing thing at home. It's called a razor. Here's Oakland Park. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
You forgot Barry White.
Barry White, yeah. Oh, how could I forget that? You know something? Right after Tropical Acres comes Barry White on my list.
I wanted to
Names to puke by.
Talk to you about a story that you said this morning about the Sparta that punched the teacher after he told him to sit down and shut up.
Yeah.
But if you asked his mother would say, well, that teacher probably shouldn't have said sit down and shut up.
Uh-huh.
That's how the parents, that's how their parents stick up.
She might be saying that. I wish you could see this disgusting dildo that right. And first of all, it's like body temperature. You know what I'm saying? It's very warm. Number one, that's what makes it suspect. And number two, the head is worn down to a frazzle. I happen to know because this was brought to us as a fun gift right out of the box. This was in pristine condition before
Roy
yanked it out of here, so to speak. And now it's like definitely worn down.
Maybe he had it in his armpit or something.
Like somebody has been doing a heavy big time number on it.
Have a good day, Neil.
And thank you so much. I'm not joking about that. Look at that. I've seen like that have been worked a little bit too much and too frantically and too often without a chance to heal up, you know what I'm saying? And this one looks definitely like that. Nice going there.
Roy!
Wow. I sure hope she had a good time. Well, she looked happy this morning. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line.
Hang this up, baby.
Yeah, we know the mic was open and we're happy about it. And we second that emotion.
Well, I work in the rear, and I've got no fear. Oh! Only go where no man has gone before me. Now bite your lip and remove that slip. An acquired taste that leaves you empty. The easily disgusted think that it's heinous. But like a spaceman, I'm circling your anus. All right. It tastes like a panic to me. The sweetest banter I Yeah. Your moon is shining on me. Tastes like a penny to me. Well, it's saved and depraved. The tongue lasted, not just cave. Makes the hair on my neck stand straight up. Now I'm a real trooper. Got my tongue up in your pooper. Squeeze out enough juice till a 50 cut. I got a mustache made of feces. My friends call me number 2. I heard you yelling caca, but I prefer doo-doo. It tastes like a penny to me.
Are you sure?
The sweetest banter I see. The moon is shining on me. It tastes like a penny to me. Now put away that KY, 'cause darling, I'm going in dry. Trust me, I won't hurt you. Things get nice and loose when I derail your caboose. And I wash it all down with a nice cold brew. Doing what I do leaves me feeling like a man. You'll find it hard to sit down when I get done with your can. It tastes like a penny to me.
Yes, yes, yes.
Sweetest banter I see. Your moon is shining on me. Tastes like a penny. Tastes like a penny.
Oh.
Tastes like a penny to me.
114 at 560 WQM. So that was kind of interesting, the guest mic. Well, see, that's because this board is such a piece of crap, and that's why my CD wouldn't work. And you got all these, multi-function with the same pots, like it's a Tinker Toy. And is it a Tinker Toy?
Uh-huh.
Yes, it is. So the guest mic was still open during all that stuff where we were talking about, where we were all in here speculating about where this big black plastic penis had been while
Roy
had it in his possession. Yeah. And what's wrong with that? So if anybody didn't hear it, here's what we were saying. Here's Hollywood. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hi, how are you doing?
Great.
I listen to your show all the time, but I don't normally call in. I'm a cardiologist, and I just want to comment on a few things that I heard on your show today.
Okay.
First of all, the guy who said he was on the Atkins diet for 8 weeks and all of a sudden had a heart attack. Obviously he had heart disease that was going on for 20 years. Heart disease doesn't happen in 8 weeks.
Right.
So it wasn't from the diet.
Mm-hmm.
I lost about 95 pounds on the Atkins diet myself.
Great.
In terms of cholesterol and triglycerides, it happens to do great things for cholesterol and triglycerides.
And blood sugar too.
Yeah, I had tons of patients who their cholesterol and triglycerides have gone down on. What I wanted to ask you is, do you understand? I haven't been able to find out why women do so poorly on the diet. Have you heard or read or?
Gee, I don't know. I have one listener. She lost a whole person.
Yeah, because I have like tons of fat women who just really do the diet. They're very strict.
Yeah.
And they just don't lose any weight.
Really?
I didn't know why. Because men seem to do very, very well on it.
Maybe it's yeast.
I don't know what it is.
No, seriously. I see. I'm getting looks from the other room. If you read the book, which I'm sure you have, he talks about when you have yeast infections that you have tremendous resistance and you won't lose any weight, and then you have to give whatever that stuff is they give for yeast. And what is that? Whatever they give.
Myostatin.
Right. Exactly.
The other thing was I wanted to comment on the hockey, which I've been following also.
Right.
When the guy said the last great series, I thought the last great series was the Panther series.
No.
You didn't like the Panthers?
The final series? I mean, the last game was a great game. The game that went in triple overtime, I was there. But I mean, we lost 4 in a row. It wasn't what you call a great series. Colorado was so far above and beyond us.
Yeah, but I thought the games themselves were fantastic, and I think Van Beesbrook was great. Anyway, thanks a lot.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for the good news. There's another cardiologist who's lost a ton of weight on the Atkins and loves it.
Oh!
How do you like that? Dan Rather and all you assholes. See, you're irresponsible. You people on TV, of course, we already know that. You're a bunch of grave robbers, exploiting human misery and peddling a lot of bullcrap, but you're irresponsible. Because the doctors, most of them, except for guys like this and Dr. Mark and a few others, they won't put out the real MS out there, the good information. And so, people look toward you and they believe what they see on the tube, especially like a prestigious program like CBS Evening News. And, you put together a piece and everybody's going like that. And nobody says anything. And then they find some cardio. I mean, there isn't anything in the world you can't find somebody to say something negative about, you know? And that's what they do. You know, well, it's a balanced report. Yeah, so who's right and who's wrong? What's the track record? How are all these people doing that Dr. Atkins is at, these hundreds of thousands of people? Did we hear anything about that?
No.
No, we heard that he said this and he said that, but did we hear any facts? No. Because that would have probably taken a little bit too much effort. They might have had to send out, what's his name? Bernie Goldberg. Or one of those other Jewish guys. You ever notice how many Jews work on CBS? 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's West Miami. Hello.
Hello, Neil?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is Mike in West Miami. Do you give the Sabres any chance in Dallas to win one more game?
Why not? What do you mean to win one more game?
Well, they have to win one away in order to bring it back, don't they?
Right. Well, what do you mean to bring it back? The series is tied 2 apiece. It's now a 2 out of 3.
So, but how many?
They do have to win 1 of 2 games in Dallas if they're going to win the series. That's correct. Well,
Yes.
why not? Why not?
Yes. Well, no, because I watched the game last night and
Well, let me ask you this. Who won the first game?
was it at Buffalo?
And where did they play that?
At Dallas.
At Dallas. So there you go. Even on that crappy ice.
Well, what is the injury situation for Dallas? I'm sorry, for Buffalo.
For Buffalo?
Yes, I kind of missed the injury report.
I don't think there is any injury. I don't know anybody on Buffalo that's injured. They're as healthy as a horse right now.
You have Madano, and Paul.
Madano's not injured anymore. I mean, he made this miraculous recovery, even played Game 3 and played great. And last night he's 100%. And Hull is going to be out at least one more
He
time.
looked very slow last night.
Who, Madano?
Yes.
Well, I mean, slow has nothing to do with your wrist.
Wrist?
Yeah, he had a fractured
Yeah.
wrist.
Oh, you are right. Yes.
Right.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. There you go. See, ask me and I'll tell you. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Stu Barnes, and by the way, Rhett Warner, what a job. 14 block shots going in night's game. I don't know how many more he had last night. That kid's playing great. Not good enough for Terry Murray, by the way. And you want to know something about Terry Murray?
He's an asshole.
Yeah. You can take that to the bank. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a mobile in Delray Beach. Hello.
Yeah, I am.
Yes, sir.
I started the Atkins on Friday. By Sunday, I didn't have enough energy to get up out of bed.
Oh, my God.
Really?
Yeah. Now, is that the lack of carbohydrates? Because I like to work out 2 or 3 times a week, and I just found that...
Maybe like sugar withdrawal, you know.
Yeah. The book says that that's level 1 first week.
Well, I never heard of not having enough energy to get out of bed. I never...
well, I mean, I didn't mean literally, but I mean to really...
You felt weak.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, is that a common symptom?
Yeah, it can be in the first few days.
Right. But I did find the low-carb cappuccino shake mix. Pretty good.
Okay.
It's a good source of protein.
Okay.
So I give that a plus. But
Well,
I
keep shaking.
just in 4 days, I lost about 5 pounds.
So what's wrong with that? What's not to like?
Yeah, I only had about 15 to lose, so I had to go get some carbs in and kind of modify it. I went up to level 4.
Yeah.
So I did 20, 30 grams of carbs a day.
Well,
and it
that's
seemed
not
to
much.
work.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, keep it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
You too.
Keep shaking it. 567. You know, something smells in here. You know what? No, it's not that. No, seriously, it's not. Something smells like weed. No, not that kind of weed.
Yeah, man.
Like weeds that, well, maybe that kind of weed. I don't know what it is. Well, Greg's out of town. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Defo or Goldie, or Joe Rose. Come on, let's go. No thoughts on it. See, most of the people listening at this time now, do they listen to the morning show at all?
No.
And they also didn't hear about the big brawl between Joe Rose and Duff Lindsay, our program director, in which case Joe was totally out of line. Totally out of line. And I'll be glad to tell him that right to his puss tomorrow morning if he wants to hear it. Take up your arguments with people who can solve them, not just to browbeat some poor guy because you want to take your grief out on him. Here's a mobile in Kendall. Hello.
Uncle Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I haven't talked to you in a couple of weeks. I faxed you over a couple of weeks ago. You were soliciting. Hey, where's a little stock tip?
Well, you better watch out for the solicitation police if I was soliciting.
No, it's a stock tip. I faxed it over. I was wondering if you got it.
I got it, but I'm so gun shy now with this market. I don't.
Well,
that
was the
was
one.
it a good one?
Yeah, it was around $2.5 a share. It was cheap enough to get into.
And how much is it now?
Well, it's just now press release today. It's going worldwide. It's going to cut download speed on the computer by 70%.
Yeah.
It's supposed to triple
I
your
love
downloads.
that. Uh-huh. But how much? In other words, it's going public today, you're saying? Sir? Okay, well, he just vanished.
Oh, my God.
Into thin air. You know, and here's a guy that faxes me something. I'm going to, like, invest my money based on that. I don't think so. You think so?
No.
No. I still haven't had one call. I mean, what is wrong with these people? Don't you have an opinion about anything?
No.
On that Ruth Chris business? I mean, Jeff Cohen says, you know, cut him a little slack. Maybe there was no management person out there that night. And if you're in the restaurant business, unless there's a management person on the premises, you can't even comp like a cup of coffee, like a diet soda. So maybe that was the problem. Maybe I'm being a little bit unfair. Do you think I'm being unfair?
No.
I don't. But maybe I am. I see, I don't like being unfair because I do love the food there. I mean, why should we go to the bistro? What was it? Bistro La Douche? I'm telling you, there is something smells in here. Since Jason walked out. Can you smell it? It smells like... No, it's not that kind of a smell. I think you left some of your good stuff in here. No, seriously, there's something... maybe it is this thing. No, that's got a smell all of its own. It smells like crap. No, there's some... I'm telling you. It smells like something that grows in your backyard. I'm not that. I'm just telling. That's what it smells like. It's got that like mung. Here's Cooper City. Hello. Look at that. The Dow's up 170 and the Nasdaq's up 85. Thanks very much for waiting. By the way, in Cooper City, 8 minutes and 47 seconds. That we kept you off the streets, you jackass. 567-0560 pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's Miami. Hello. Okay. Thank you so much. Here's a mobile in Hollywood. Hello.
Dave Dixon dead.
Yeah, okay, great. Thanks for the bulletin, yeah. Abe Lincoln, too. Here's a lady in Kendall. Hello.
Yeah, hi, Neil.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, hi.
That's
I remember...
morons now coming out of the woodwork. Not bad enough. We went the whole 3 hours without morons. Now they're coming out. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I'm Carolyn. I fax you sometimes.
Yes, Carolyn.
I remember the Stillman diet, the Air Force diet.
Right.
Remember that?
Uh-huh.
All of them were based on low carbohydrate.
Correct.
And back then, though, in the 60s and 70s, they were also based on you could drink. Remember the drinking man's diet,
right,
which was the Air Force diet?
Uh-huh.
But anyway, I've been on Atkins for 3 weeks, and the first 2 weeks I lost 13 pounds, which I know some of that was water weight.
Yeah, it's okay. What difference does it make? You're still carrying it around.
Yeah, but I've kept it off, and then I went for about a week not losing anything, and now I've lost 4 pounds.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Sounds
excellent to me.
Good.
Sounds beautiful.
And I know some other women that are on the diet that they have lost. So just wanted to let you know.
Okay, thanks. Keep it up.
Okay, bye.
Bye. See, there you go. And like the cardiologist said, the guy who had the heart attack and the bypass and all the other business, that doesn't come on in 8 weeks. He obviously had a condition that was developing over a long period of time. And with or without the Atkins, you can be damn sure he would have gone right to the hospital, etc. But anyway, be that as it may, you know, you listen to whoever you want and then do whatever you want, and I'll sit here and keep eating my fish food and croak an early death. 126 at 560 WQAM. One of the world's greatest shoe stores is right here in town in Pompano Beach, Brandy Shoes. You know, I saw John Penis, I think, twice this morning. Is John Penis giving us a new copy at all?
No.
Not that I'm complaining, you understand, because I don't care. If you don't care, I don't care. But it's just interesting to me that some of this stuff goes on, and it just gets a little bit ponderous because I wonder, are they still running this special this week and next week and last week? And I really don't know because we got a lot of good time Charlies around here that want to come in and tell all kinds of stories about George and who got laid and who stuck it here and, you know, and that stuff. But when it comes to like doing like business, are we here to do business?
No.
Oh, okay, thank you. I feel better now.
What's this obsession with hokey?
Oh!
When the bombs explode over every U.S. town, racists are still tombstones.
Yes.
Many was as red as a monkey's ass, and his brain was in his bones. Clinton thought it was a game, selling secrets to get fame.
We are all the Bill Clinton.
Well, you're talking about China Doe. Whoa, whoa, China Doe. His campaign was funded by the commies and trade for the plans to make some nukes. The traders for the South never thought it was wrong. He's been a career and still went on side. Now we're not safe from the red army states. Clinton don't seem to care. Hail to the coward in chief.
So let me ask you, Magic Carpet Ride, was that out at the same time, about the same time as China Road? It's 131 at 560 WQAM, 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. By the way, everything we said that wasn't supposed to get on the air before during the break that did get on the air, we say, just second that emotion and then some. So we finally got our big black dildo back from our close personal friend who evidently couldn't sell it around a building, had to bring it back. But if you want to buy some great bootleg cologne, see, they probably think I'm making that up. I mean, is that illegal or what?
Uh-huh.
Here's a mobile in Boca. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Oh, there's line 8 again. Okay, thank you. Make a note of that. Line 8 screwed up as if they don't already know that on our cheapo phone system here. Hey, Greg says he's going to get us a new one, didn't he?
No.
Here's a lady in the Gables. Hello. Lady mobile in the Gables.
Hi.
Yes, ma'am.
How you doing?
Okay.
I've been on Atkins for like a week and a half and like lost maybe 2 pounds, 3 at the most.
Right.
And I've done it before and gone off, of course. And but my question to you is, what in the world do you eat for breakfast? I mean, aren't you sick of eggs and meat?
Bacon.
That's
cheese.
meat.
Cheese. Whatever you can eat, whatever you want for breakfast.
No, you can't have cereal. You can't.
No,
have...
of course you can't eat carbohydrates, but I'm saying anything you can eat the rest of the day, you can eat at breakfast. Why do you have to have breakfast food? That's American brainwashing.
I know, but it's just like to face another egg every morning is all I can stand.
Yeah.
And,
no, you don't like omelets?
And what do you do for snacks?
You're asking me? I'm not on the Atkins. I can't stay on it for more than like 2 days at a time anymore. I'm a sugar addict. That's absolutely right. I'm so addicted to sugar, and I'm the proudest one who, not proud, but the first one to admit it, and I can't get off it. I just can't. I'm stuck and can't get off.
Well, and you never get fruit. I mean, all that fresh
Well, I
fruit.
can live without fruit. Okay, I get plenty of fruit, but you know.
Well, those are the people that are the best on this diet. But you know, because yeah, I mean, it's like you look at that and you think that's healthy food, and then you think, but I can't eat it on Atkins. It makes me crazy.
Yeah.
But I keep trying it because
well,
it says,
you just keep banging away. You just got to do the best you can.
Well, I appreciate it.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'll see you in the banana patch. Okay. 567-0560. Yeah, bananas grow on trees, dummy. I know, but I'll see you in the banana patch anyway. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Hank Goldberg's over at Chula's today, of course, between 2 and 6. Ed Kaplan is here at 6. Want to bet on it? And then we got the Marlin game 9:30 tonight again. I don't even know if they won or lost last night. Did they? Do we know? They lost. Oh, they lost again last night? Like I said, is there anybody listening to that tonight?
No.
Here's Delray Beach. Hello.
Hi, Nigger Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hi. Hey, did you smell that dildo when you got it back?
Yeah, George did.
Is it okay?
It smells like exactly what you'd expect.
Okay, listen, I love you to death.
Smells like a penny.
I listen to you every day, all day, man. I won't go to work if you're not on.
Good.
Anyway, I hate to bring this up, but what's the deal with you and Geldy? I mean, you used to rip him an ass so bad. Now,
and I was
now
wrong.
You're kissing his ass. What's
I'm
up
not
with that?
kissing his ass. Sir, I'm not one of those people that just picks on people for the sake of it. I tell it the way I see it. You should know that by now.
I do.
Geldy happens to be a good guy. He's the only one on that morning of that trio anymore. He's not an ass sucker. He was not just some kind of little troublemaker and malcontent. Geldy happens to be a pretty good guy, even though he's got a shrill voice and sucks panther ass. But nevertheless,
Okay, but
he's okay.
But you guys are friends now, I guess. Right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I like Geldy.
No, that's cool because man, you used to rip him an ass so bad.
Well,
and I was
because
like,
I
now-
made a misjudgment.
Oh, okay.
Let me ask you: when you meet somebody the first time, do you always 100% make the accurate judgment?
No. No.
There you go.
Hey, listen, can I call somebody?
I know it's a hairy topic, but
Can I call somebody a douchebag?
go ahead.
Bob Bastard and Dave at IHH douchebag.
Okay, Bob Bastard. Yeah, sounds like it. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. It's the thing with me. I have an anti-hair fetish, so you should feel very comfortable now, and everything is under control. We all are going to get along a lot better from here on in. And don't keep asking him in there to take his clothes off, okay? Because you're the one that's going to get sued, Mr. Spick. 567-0560. I mean, what kind of a thing is that to do, to be asking guys to be taking their clothes off in there, George?
I ask Shannon all the time.
Yeah, well, I know, but that's another story, and I've heard him. Okay, here's Mobile in Miami. Hello. Mobile in Miami.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I started a diet recently, like a high-protein, low-carb diet, and I hear all you guys like calling and telling about these shakes and products and all that stuff, and I was wondering where they sell them or where I can get these things.
Where you get what?
Like all these shakes and products that they're saying that high.
Get the shakes.
protein,
Come to work in
low-carb.
our sales department so you'll have the shakes in 2 hours or less. 567-0560, pound 560 on the ATC. I'm not going to start getting sucked into that. You know, they want me to start plugging delights and all these. I'm not going to do that. Who was that? Oh, that was Lee Cutler in here this morning. Probably wants to put him on the air or something. I mean, I'm just not into that. And all the make-believe ice cream, it's all crap is what it is. And the idea of the Atkins, really and truly, even though he put some of that stuff in it to pacify people with a sweet tooth like me, is the idea that you're supposed to be really eating real food, you know, like meats and cheeses and butter and that stuff. Chicken, fish, real food. Real food for real people. You got it? You got it?
No.
No. I don't have it. The Dow's up 176. The NASDAQ's up a whopping 87 points. Let's hear it. Oh! Thank God. Thank the Lord. Get that thing zooming up there, man. Get it up to about 30,000 by the end of the day, and I won't be here tomorrow. 56705. And you know that whole thing with the stock market, like the guy that called with that phony tip and then hung up again, who doesn't know his ass from his elbow, the whole thing is bullcrap. Because even having gone from like 6,000 to over 11,000 at one point, if you look at the overwhelming majority of stocks, they're like in a crapper. They're not going anywhere. Nobody's making money on most. If you have like one of about 20 or 30 stocks and you bought it like several months ago or maybe a year ago, you're sitting pretty, baby. And if not, you got piles. The only piles you got are in your rectum. Here's North Miami. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Have you heard Taco Bell's new slogan? I found it on a golf post. Put the bell in your basket.
It puts the bell in your basket.
I
like
can't believe
that.
it.
That's
I just
cute.
can't believe it.
Uh-huh.
Have you heard it?
No, I have not. Just now, yeah.
It puts the lotion in the basket.
Right. Excellent. Okay, thank you. And by the way, how's that book coming? How's that Hannibal book coming? Anybody read it in this audience yet?
No.
No. In fact, I was in there I told you, Barnes & Noble on Sunday. The place was packed. There wasn't one person in there. Thank goodness. I don't go around looking for recognition. There was nobody in there who knew me. These people in this audience, do they read books?
No.
No. Which is okay, because if they read books, they wouldn't have so much time listening to the radio and a lot of the boring stuff that's on this station. 22 before 2 at 560 WQAM. I've got...
Put the lotion in the basket.
Who the hell are you?
This guy had a bomb and took a hit, then would he act like Cheech and Chong?
Yes.
And get the munchies and make brownies filled with hash. And would he share it with Jesus and the saints?
No.
Those pious potheads. And yeah, pot is great. And yeah, pot is good. And yeah. What is God's most cannibal?
All right.
Smoking pot like one of us. Getting high on the back of the bus. Just him and Moses getting stoned. On a Greyhound bus to Rome. To get some Vatican homegrown. A couple time back to take home. Smoked a big Bob Marley on his throne. No fun in heaven unless you're stoned.
145 at 560 WQAM. By the way, thanks to the Bong Hit Boys in Margate for sending me a beautiful poster. The Pope smokes dope, and you should too. Look at that. That's a beauty. The Pope has got a big fat one in his puss. And so I was sitting here for the last 20 minutes wondering, what is that smell? What is that aroma? And I look in my pocket and realize I have this big fat one, this Cuban bullet that Nick sent over here. And I'm going to tell you, there's something special in there. In fact, when you hold up a cigar and out of the little plastic wrapper fall a couple of seeds right off the bat, you know there's something special in there. Oh! That's right. Start sifting, baby. So go on down to Nick's and ask for the Cuban bullet, and you'll either get some great cigars or something else. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. So the verdict today is that Mandich is going to be starting mornings on Monday morning. Mandich, Bifo, and maybe Mandich can kick Bifo into shape. And, of course, my close personal friend, Gildy. That's the verdict we got this morning. Here's Mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Great.
Question. I just started a diet a few weeks ago called Sugar Busters.
Yeah, I read the book. I've read every diet book that's ever been written.
What's the big difference between that one and the Atkins? Because they seem pretty similar.
Yeah, it's just another Atkins ripoff, just like the Protein Power with the EADS and all these other infomercials. It's all an Atkins ripoff.
There's no big benefit to the sugars as opposed to the Atkins.
I don't remember it. In other words, I read it like whenever it came out several months ago, and there was something in there that told me forget it. It didn't make any sense.
Well, a buddy of mine, he tried Atkins. He said this is just an easier version of it.
Yeah.
That sounded good to me.
In other words, maybe it allows you a few more carbs. I don't remember.
Yeah,
because when you read 500 diet books a year, they all start sounding the same.
It basically says all refined white sugar products,
right,
as opposed to all carbohydrates. So I guess
Atkins doesn't eliminate all carbohydrates, just most. I mean, you can have a little bit of salad, you can have a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but like less than 20 grams a day in the beginning, which is very little.
All right, Neil. Thanks.
Okay,
I just wanted to ask you.
Good luck, pal.
Thanks.
We'll all need it. 5670560. I got a perfect Atkins day going so far, man.
Oh!
What's wrong with that? It's almost 2 o'clock already. And when I stop and get that king-size Snickers bar at the convenience store on the way home, that might screw it up a little bit. Huh? That'll tide me over till I get to the mobile station on the corner of Flamingo there in Broward Boulevard and get my fish stick. And then, no, I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to have a perfect, the next 2 weeks, I'm going to do perfect Atkins. Am I?
No.
I'm thinking about it. I'm talking a good game. Sounds great. Tastes like crap, but it sounds great. See, anybody tells you the Atkins diet or any other diet, oh, it's a piece of cake. No, there is no piece of cake. That's the problem. I mean, yeah, you can, if you put your mind to it, you can do it, but it's not, you're not a happy camper. You're not really happy, especially if you're a real sugar addict and you admit it, which most of you don't. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, I am.
Can you play Here Come the FAG?
No. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. There's a guy that had a lot to say. Here's a mobile in Boca. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Neil, how are you?
Okay.
First-time listener.
Really?
Good show.
How's that possible?
I saw one of your trucks driving by in Fort Lauderdale.
One of our trucks?
Yeah, one of your, I guess, those weird...
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, and have a great day. Like that. Okay, call us back if it was a real call, but I think it was like some jackass. One of our trucks driving by in Boca. One of our big advertising trucks. Do we have any trucks?
No.
No. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. What do we say about a guy like that, huh?
He's an asshole.
Yeah, we just took a vote, man. You win. Here's a mobile in Durrell. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Neil, how you doing?
Great. Right
I
up
just
until this
started the
moment,
Atkins
sensational.
on,
Yeah.
Last Friday,
Uh-huh.
and I have two questions.
Uh-huh.
First of all, how come you can't have any caffeine?
Because it screws up your metabolism. Number two?
Hello?
Yeah, and number two?
And number two,
I just told you, because it screws up your metabolism. Would you like me to say it again? It screws up your metabolism, the caffeine.
No, I understand.
Yeah, I didn't invent it, okay? Don't blame me for Mother Nature, okay? It screws up your goddamn metabolism, and you can't have any frickin' caffeine, okay? I didn't make it up. That's what the doctor says. Take it out on his old ass.
And number two, when you like cheat, like, you know, after like a couple months.
Yeah. Oh, you've been cutting
and you
some
like
teeth.
and you like a you know like a Ben & Jerry's New York Super Fudge. How long does it take for you to not gain any weight from that?
You know something? It screws you up for like a week or 10 days. I mean,
a week or 10 days.
Yeah, to get out of your. I mean, you know, you'll be in limbo. You may gain a pound or two, and then you have to start like all over again. It depends on how long you've done it. If you're on it and you lose 20 or 30 pounds, and then you want to take a few days off and do something like that, be my guest. Have a great time. And,
all right, Neil. Hey, thanks a lot, Neil.
And save some for me.
All right.
5670560. No, I think it's good that Ben & Jerry's has actually come out with a couple of new really crappy flavors that, oh, God. The one with the cows in it that the guy was touting last week, that is garbage. That is the worst. I mean, I'm surprised Ben & Jerry puts their name on that thing. It's called Bovinity Divinity, and it is absolutely puke-inducing. It is the worst. It isn't even like Ben & Jerry's. It's watery, and it's tasteless, and it's bland, and they should take their name off the label immediately, if not sooner. And then there's another new one that I got at Publix yesterday. It's called chocolate something frozen yogurt. Now, the chocolate cherry Garcia frozen yogurt, that's excellent. That is sensational. But this was some other kind of crap frozen yogurt, and it was, in fact, if you look in the bowl, that's exactly what it looked and tasted like. It's $1.50. Well, see, it's not appetizing, but it's a good way to turn you off on that stuff, okay? Every time you look at it, just think that came straight from there, and you won't get anywhere near it unless 10 before 2, unless you knew Peter Clayton. 10 before 2 at 560 WQAM.